Tonight on the podcast, we're talking D23 news. Kevin Smith making a sequel to Tusk. She-Hulk castings going galore in Fantastic Four. I rhymed because we're not starting on time. And tonight, we're also going to hear the geek world according to Stumbling Jedi.
Who's Kevin Smith?
It is Friday night in Phoenix, and you're listening to
the
best damn podcast in all of the land, the Absolute Geek Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
I'm Max.
I'm Stumbling Jedi.
I'm sorry. What did you say when I was starting the intro?
I love Kevin Smith.
Is that what you said? What did you really say?
I said, "Who's Kevin Smith?"
Well, I hope you guys all liked the Stumbling Jedi's appearance because that was short-lived.
Let him back in.
Yoga hosers for life.
No, again. Well, that was another quick appearance by Stumbling Jedi. You know, yoga hosers for life.
It's all right, dude. I got your back. I let you back.
I appreciate that.
Matt just gets salty because he's in a low-key relationship with Kevin Smith.
I think
Gotta
I look
be.
over my shoulder.
He's still trying to get
nothing
that.
low key about it.
He's still trying to get that man to do the wedding.
He can't. He's gonna be on
low
his
key.
road show.
Low key, like you're in a relationship, but he doesn't know it.
Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah,
one of
like
those
you're
crazies.
peering through the bushes and stuff.
It's
Not
a
quite.
one-sided relationship.
Yeah.
Not quite.
He's like, oh, Kevin Smith.
That may have happened once or twice.
He's looking good right now, though. I mean, he's on that walking, running deal. He's looking nice.
Looking very svelte. Is that
He's
the
a
right
9'8".
A 9'8".
And meanwhile, Jay is looking like, I don't even know. Like he's got the mustache thing going. He's looking like he's auditioning for like a role for a pedophile or something.
Whoa.
He's looking.
He is a timeless treasure. All right.
He is looking kind of homeless. I'm just saying.
Yeah. When they're standing right next to each other, you're like, this guy's taking care of himself, and you're kind of not. But
All I know is I want his little robotic luggage thing. Did you guys see that on Twitter or something like that? He has like this luggage that's on a remote control, and he sits there and rides it through the airport and shit. You can sit on it. It's your luggage, and it's fucking a remote control
The
car
things
or
rich
whatever.
people buy. I
Stumbling is
Dude.
heading to eBay right now to see how much one of those are.
yeah, I can get from A23 to E18 quick.
Yeah, dude.
Let's find out.
It's like a little luggage go-kart, man. It's fucking awesome.
That does sound cool.
It is the epitome of laziness.
In a world where they have electric skateboards, like the one thing that you just need to push to ride has to be electric now. We're done. Wally, here we come.
As long as we become floating soon, okay? We still don't have floating skateboards that are, mass produced in the market. I want one. And I think we need to go one step above Back to the Future. They need to be able to float and soar over water. Okay? Whoever comes up with the technology, make sure it works.
Yeah, they've been trying to make that for years. Like I think the closest they got were like these fans or whatever, but it was so loud and bulky, like the hovering technology is just not there.
If I was light enough, it was windy enough earlier today, at least where I live in Arizona, I probably could have stood on a skateboard and hovered in the air a bit.
They tried to do it with like magnets too.
Look at this thing, $450.
Oh man, I'm looking at the moto.
Oh, I thought
bag.
it was like a car type thing. I didn't realize.
No,
it was...
dude, it is literally your carry-on luggage, and you ride it through.
That's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, dude.
On moto bag, they're $1,500. So this is the Mercedes of luggage.
Oh yeah, This probably you can take on the airplane like one time and then it's kaput. My fat ass sits on it. It won't even go 4 feet before it breaks.
Let's see what the capacity is. This is awesome.
See, now you just got to get it and race your buddies to the airport with it.
Airport security won't have an issue with that at all.
Can you get a DUI on a suitcase?
That's a good question.
Trying to find his
As long as it's not a registered vehicle, you're good, right? I don't know. I don't know the laws.
What are you talking about? Like,
because if you're like riding a bicycle drunk, would that be a DUI? I guess that might be because you're on the road.
You can get a DUI.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I mean, if you got like a 5-hour layover and you got to sit at Chili's and throw some back, like, I don't know.
I'm trying to find the video of him at Comic-Con racing R2-D2 on it, and I can't find it.
I mean, if anyone's gonna get a DUI on a fucking piece of luggage to an airport, it'll be Stumbling Jedi.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Miller Lights in his back pocket, just rolling down the old moving sidewalk.
8 a.m. Miller Lights, boys. It was hard for me to not get loose before I came on the show, but I figured I wouldn't embarrass myself yet.
You already did it within the first 5 seconds.
I mean, we need somebody to be, just hammered.
Where's Kyle?
I was going to say, we haven't had Kyle on the show in a while. He always comes on nice and hammered.
Yeah. I'll send him a bottle of Bullet.
So as Lance was flipping through
and then
stuff,
you say,
I noticed
yoga hosers for life.
Well, I noticed as Lance was flipping through that they've got some of the scenes from the extended Spider-Man cut up. I'm going to throw my 2 cents because Lance and I just got back from that like an hour ago. I love Spider-Man No Way Home, but don't spend full price ticket to go see the extra 11 minutes. It wasn't worth it. There's nothing to see.
No, it's just a couple more, laughs in it and stuff. I mean, really.
Yeah, they saved all the best laughs for the main movie, though. Although there is they do extend the 3 Spider-Men talking, and that was pretty legit. That scene was awesome.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield says to Tobey Maguire, he's like, it comes out of you. Like, when we're all done with this, I want to see the holes.
Okay, that line was pretty good, actually.
Yeah,
that was the best
whole
part.
Exchange. Yeah,
everything else was just like a few little like extra conversations with the high school kids, and it was funny.
But the end credit, like we've discussed it ad nauseum on this. Like, the whole world forgets Peter Parker. Well, what about like every photo that he's ever taken or anything with his name on it? And the end credits kind of shows you what happened. So like they're showing pictures from their Europe trip or whatever, and like every picture that Peter Parker's in, like there's like a bird flying in front of his face or completely like wiped him away from everything.
That's so stupid. That makes that ending of that movie even worse.
I liked it, man. It's like it had its issues.
A bittersweet ending. It's a pretty sad movie, actually. It's a pretty
just make everyone forget Peter Parker as Spider-Man. Why are you going to go as far as everyone's going to forget Peter Parker?
I think we're going to learn more in the future.
I think it's going to get. I mean, isn't that technically how that usually happens, there, Lance? You learn more in the future.
Not me. I know everything. So. No, dude. If anything, what this movie does is just reinvigorate, the Andrew Garfield should be Spider-Man debate.
Well, I'll throw a debate out. According to Max Bender, you don't know everything because he decided to fact check you last week. And
on what?
On the #1 grossing R-rated movie. And
at
it's
the
not
time,
it's not Deadpool, it's Joker.
Well, hey, did Joker come out? If you look at what I said at the time, Deadpool was the #1 grossing movie. Joker came out well after Deadpool.
I don't know. All I know is the man's in the chat.
So maybe rather than fact checking,
the shit out of you.
Listen to the words I'm saying.
He fact checked the shit out of you, and he put you in timeout.
Deadpool.
We used to have Mike for the facts. May he rest in peace. almost been a year. Sorry to be a bummer there,
Deadpool
but...
broke the record for the largest grossing R-rated movie of all time. Joker then beat it.
He said,
back and
although
listen.
Lance could always edit Wikipedia. It's all right, buddy.
No,
Happens to the best.
No,
of
it's
us.
just you just kind of look silly if you don't listen to what people are saying.
Oh, he doesn't look silly. It's all right, Lance.
At the time, Deadpool broke the record. It became the largest grossing R-rated movie of all time until it was beaten by the Joker.
It's okay, Lance.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It went from 2003 to 2000. You know, they broke it in 2016 with Deadpool. That's.
Oh, thanks, Stumbling. Backing me up, dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just looking at it right here. It's like Deadpool 2, and Deadpool are right up there, 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty solid.
And then Joker came out, what, 21? 20. 21 or 20?
19.
Oh, geez, man. The last 2 years have just flown by. Like, I feel like 19, 20, and 21 are just merged together.
So you guys know, bringing up Spider-Man, William Dafoe played in Spider-Man, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, I'm getting too little. So this guy that's up here working with me, he showed me this picture this morning, and he was like, "You'll never guess who was in my hotel last night. We were sitting at the bar hanging out. He was having wine, coincidentally. I don't know if you can see it. I would send it to Matt so he can share it. There's my buddy that's up here fixing dents, and William Dafoe was in the hotel in Des Moines, Iowa last night, and they sat.
That's not Willem Dafoe.
That's not Willem.
That's not Willem Dafoe.
That's John McElhenney.
Yeah. Here, let me send this to you, Matt. He said it was William Dafoe, but this guy looks way too old. Let me send this to you.
Look like Willem Dafoe.
That looks nothing like Willem Dafoe.
Hang on.
Yeah,
hang on.
put it on screen. Put it on screen, Matt. Once you get it, put
what
it on
name
here.
am I thinking of?
Yeah, what's this guy's name? Yeah,
well, it's not Willem Dafoe, but the guy that it looks like.
That reminds me. Have you ever seen that movie? I'm sure Lance probably has, but Game Night.
Oh yeah, with
where the
Jason
chick
Bateman and
where the chick thinks she met Denzel Washington at the gas station.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what this is. It's a case of mistaken identity. It's totally not.
I would laugh my ass off. It's just
that's what
Lance Henriksen.
Who's that?
I don't know why he thought it was William Dafoe. He just let me pull.
It looked like John Malkovich to me.
Lance
Henriksen.
You know,
yeah.
This worked out better than I could have imagined, Stumbling. Because as you were telling the story, I was really like, I really hope that he's building up to Willem Dafoe, and then he shows a picture and it's not Willem Dafoe.
The photo's so small and blurry, dude. Like you can't even see who it is.
Is it?
Yeah. There we go.
Are you sharing it?
You got it on your phone?
No. I'm gonna share it here now.
Lance Henriksen. I don't even recognize who this is.
I don't know why I thought it was William Dafoe. I'm an idiot.
It's all good, man. At least you didn't think the Pizza Hut had brick oven pizzas.
Jesus.
Do they not?
Yeah. Dude, that looks more like
he was in Aliens. I didn't think it was.
That looks more like Frank Miller to me than.
Yeah, that's exactly okay. He was just like, "Hey, have you seen the Alien movies?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." And so yeah, I was wrong. It wasn't Dafoe.
This guy's got to have like 20 years on Will.
I was going to say he's got like 20, 30 years on.
My bad. I just had him send me that pic.
If you're an audio only listener, please tune in. This is gold.
I'm surprised that someone even recognized that guy, because I'd be like, "Oh, it's an old white guy."
Dude,
who's this guy?
That's an insult to Willem Dafoe, dude. That's so bad.
Dang,
oh,
I wasn't even close.
That's awesome.
Not even in the same stratosphere, dude.
All I gotta say, dude, is watching that movie again. Like, Willem Dafoe is one of the best Marvel villains ever. Like the role, the way he played it, and this movie kind of cemented that. He's just so good, dude. I don't know why they can't recreate that. We haven't had like a Sinister type villain really ever, I don't think, in the MCU. Somebody that's seriously deranged.
Have you seen The Lighthouse?
The Lighthouse, I think so.
Is that Robert Pattinson in that as well? I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's
it's
incredible.
Him and Robert Pattinson.
Willem Dafoe and Robert
Robertson.
Yeah,
Patton
dude.
Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe is fucking awesome. Only thing that I can think of right now that I've seen him in that I hated was Aquaman.
You hated Aquaman? I thought you just didn't like it that much.
Aquaman. No, there's not really anything good I can say about that movie.
All right. Yeah. I still think that Willem Dafoe would make an excellent Joker. He just looks the part. I think he would be an excellent Joker.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to happen, though.
Yeah, Boondock Saints.
He was great in that.
Boondock Saints is awesome. I think there's another Boondock Saints that's supposed to be coming out, isn't there? A third one?
I mean, that's not a franchise they should really reboot, in my opinion, but maybe.
If only we had someone that could fact check.
Come on, Mr. Bender.
I didn't even know there was a Boondock Saints 2.
It flopped.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
What was it called? All Saints?
All Saints
something?
Row.
Yeah.
All Saints Day.
All Saints Day? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking video games. I said All Saints Row.
So apparently Boondock Saints 3 was officially announced as being in production on November 1st, 2021.
Nice.
It's expected to begin filming on May 2022.
Nice.
But, dude, it better be better. Because the second one ruined the first one for me. The second one made the first one not as good. The best part of that first movie, though, is when he hits the table and the gun shoots the cat.
Oh, dude.
That's the best part of that whole fucking movie.
You know what the best part of that whole movie was?
The
end credits.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
don't even. That movie's awesome.
I'm just kidding.
Yo, when William Dafoe hits like play on his tape player and he gets all like super into the scene.
It's Willem Dafoe. Willem.
Yeah, I didn't know that until about a year ago.
I'm only correcting it because I'm just seeing people go ape shit in the chat about it. So
Willem.
Yeah,
Willem.
it's Willem.
Willem.
I always take away something from you guys. And tonight
That's funny.
Willem.
William.
But all right, before we get into geek news, I want to say what's up to the chat. Shout out Stick Boy, shout out Hartman, shout out Aaron, the lovely Aaron, of course. Shout out Patrick, shout out Quantum Kyle, shout out Eric Williams, shout out Max Bender, Max the corrector Bender, shout out Stumbling Jedi, who says he's an idiot. And Hartman says Deform has a big penis.
Deform? Who's Deform?
That's what he said. Yeah, I don't know. But on that note, let's kick the show into high gear and let's get into a little bit of
Ultra Drive
news. Our first topic tonight kicks off what we seem to just beat that dead horse into the ground for all that it's worth.
I'm so fucking tired of talking about
There
this.
he is beating that dead horse.
We're talking about DC, Warner Brothers Discovery, and no more DC fandom.
How long do you think it's going to be before Discovery has to sell DC because they fucking ruined it?
Probably about 6 months from now.
They've
Warner Brothers
changed hands too many times.
Warner
it's
Brothers
bad.
Discovery revealed to Popverse that DC fandom will not be taking place this year as the company looks to capitalize on the return of traditional conventions. With the return of in-person events, Warner Brothers Discovery is excited to be able to engage with our fans live at numerous Comic-Cons around the world and will not be scheduling a DC fandom for 2020. This doesn't make sense on so many levels.
Why?
We are coming to the end of con season. You really only have maybe one or two big cons left. in New York Comic Con is probably like the biggest con left. They chose to skip San Diego. They weren't at Emerald City that I know of. And now they're choosing to not do Fandom this year, where they could capitalize on it and get people excited for what they're trying to do and save themselves a little face.
I don't think they know what. How do you tell people what you're going to do if you don't even know what the fuck you're going to do?
They don't.
These guys. It's like children are running it. You know, first of all, the guy they want. Yeah, first of all, the guy they want to be their Kevin Feige. I don't know why the fuck they're even looking at this guy. What is his name? Dave Lynn or what's his name?
Because he made the Lego movie.
Whatever, man. AT&T owned Warner Brothers for how many years?
Not that many, I don't feel like.
And AT&T kind of ran it into the ground a little bit. I mean, they did better than what Discovery's done so far.
That's debatable. Discovery hasn't done anything yet.
I disagree. I think Warner Brothers drove it into the ground. I don't think AT&T drove it into the ground.
Well, AT&T was the parent company, though, right?
Yeah, but Warner Brothers, I think, is responsible for driving into the ground. DC Comics, I mean, AT&T would still very heavily in the DC Comics realm, but I think Warner Brothers is responsible for driving DC, the film aspect of DC into the ground. Because I mean, AT&T was still very much involved with the fact that they're the reason we even got a Fandom. You know, they could have capitalized. You know,
I thought they started. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, at a time when everything was going online, like they did the 2 years of online San Diego Comic Con, they gave you DC Fandom trying to revel D23 and all these other properties that are doing individual cons now. But
yeah, they were kind of the first one to do it. But I feel like they did it because that first year San Diego got canceled, right? After COVID.
Yeah.
And then they had DC Fandom.
But
I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, no. So go ahead. I've already talked enough. I'll put myself in timeout.
I'm just going to say, man, like every single decision that they've been making. I mean, they're going out and shopping the Batman cartoon to like other networks, like Warner Brothers. Like they're trying to build this like streaming service, and they're letting one of their most bankable characters go to like Netflix or Hulu or something like that. The Cape Crusader, I think it's called, right?
Yeah.
That they're saying that it could end up on Apple TV. Like these people, they're letting one of their most bankable characters in a kids show, which kids show just naturally get viewers, right? Go to a rival streaming service. I just don't understand.
They have to, man. They're hemorrhaging so much money. And I think the other part of it is they have nothing to offer. They've canceled, what do they have? Okay, they have Blue Beetle, but they canceled Wonder Twins. They canceled Batgirl. They could show more of the Flash. They could show Black Adam, but Black Adam's coming to theaters soon. So I think they're going to try and cut down on as much spoilers and information about those two movies getting out to make people want to go to the theater and see them. But other than that, there's really nothing. We don't know past the next season of Titans and Doom Patrol if they're even going to be around. There's just nothing to be excited about. We got an announcement that right now, the next season of the Harley Quinn animated series and Joker 2 are the only two projects that have been greenlit.
Yeah,
moving forward. I mean, they've talked about
greenlighting.
Batman
2 got officially greenlit recently too.
Apparently not, because I read the news I'm saying say that those are the only two properties that have been officially greenlit.
I thought Batman 2 was greenlit before the purchase went through. No,
I think it was just heavily rumored. I could have sworn I saw something recently that Matt Reeves was just given the green light for like his Penguin show and for Batman 2, and that's what I thought anyway. I don't know.
You might be right. I don't.
But I'm in such a freaking conundrum with DC because a week ago I was all like, "Ooh, they're bringing the Snyderverse back," and now this week I'm just like, "Screw DC! I'm so tired of this." I just like have no faith in them at this point.
So 3 weeks ago, I mean, it's IGN, so take it as you will. The Batman 2 not yet greenlit. Next movie reportedly years away.
Yeah, I mean that's.
It says Robert Pattinson's Bat sequel isn't exactly a sure thing.
Oh man, that movie needs a sequel. It was so good. First one was so good.
So it says the Batman 2 is thought to be in development with writer-director Matt Reeves as well as star Robert Pattinson both returning, but it's still years away from the box office, and Warner Brothers Discovery hasn't officially given it the go-ahead. This is despite WB confirming the film was a film with an announcement back at Cinecon.
Yeah, it's all it looks like is that they don't know what the hell they're doing. And if they were smart, they would just get James Gunn to come in and keep doing the stuff that James Gunn's doing. Like, he's the only one that's created anything within that Snyderverse. I don't know what you call it because it's still along the Snyderverse storyline, right? He's the only one that's made anything that's been like good.
I don't know,
aside from the Zack Snyder movies, yeah.
No, those aren't good.
They're amazing. You're right.
No, but they weren't critically acclaimed. None of them.
I freaking love those movies. But yes, you're right. Critically, they were not.
Like,
acclaimed.
what's been more critically acclaimed than Peacemaker?
Joker, maybe.
But that's not in the Snyderverse.
Yeah, I know. Snyderverse wise, Peacemaker's probably been the highest rated thing. Maybe the Suicide Squad will be next. I'm just guessing here, though. Don't go fact checking me, Max Bender. I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm just guessing.
I'm just saying that you got one guy that's making good stuff, and you've got a fan base that's pretty passionate about these characters. And meanwhile, it doesn't seem like anybody knows their ass from their elbow.
I think we need to be honest here. Like, everybody gives him all this love, but I really think we need to be honest here. James Gunn is nothing but a one-hit wonder. He's a one-hit darling. And unless Guardians 3 comes out and completely blows me away, he's a one-hit darling because he did good with Guardians 1, fell off on Guardians 2, did better than, you didn't have to, the bar wasn't set very high on Suicide Squad. So it was pretty easy for him to clear that. Knocked out of the park with Peacemaker. Now we'll have to see what Peacemaker season 2 is like. He's very good with those one-hit wonder, low-key characters that nobody knows, but when he puts them at the forefront of the fandom and people start going out there and researching him and getting to know him a little bit more, the quality of his work starts to fall off drastically. So I gotta set it straight as far as James Gunn goes, and I don't think we can sit here and praise him like he can do no wrong and he's the ipso facto like end all beat all way to go, because he's definitely not.
Yeah, you're right. And all right, so I went to the Rotten Tomatoes website. If you're looking at like reviewer scores on Rotten Tomatoes, Peacemaker's number 1, then Wonder Woman, then Suicide Squad, then Shazam.
Oh, Wonder Woman was pretty good. The first one. Yeah.
So James Gunn is responsible for 2 of those. But you are right, Matt. Like Guardians 2 wasn't great. So I mean, it wasn't bad. I liked it, but it wasn't nearly as good as the first one. So is James Gunn really the guy to keep things going, or is he just someone that comes in with an original idea that people love, and then we don't
He's
really
good
want
at intros, but that's it.
Yeah.
But no one in that whole thing has made a decent follow. I mean, Wonder Woman 1984 was hot garbage.
Yeah, no, they haven't.
The sequels have not been super well received.
We'll see how Sam does, but
yeah, and I actually don't think that one looks very good. I mean, if you want to call the Suicide Squad a sequel to Suicide Squad, because it kind of is, then that one did well.
Yeah.
I don't have any hope for Black Adam, because like I said last week, the more and more I see of The Rock and Black Adam, the less I see Black Adam and I just see The Rock in a costume.
Yep.
Like, it's just not. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? William Dafoe down there.
I'll be honest. I'm just here for the Better Call Saul talk. I'm just gonna. That's the only reason I tuned in tonight.
Well, we're not talking Better Call Saul, so you tuned in wrong then.
You clickbaited me.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Moving on.
yeah,
After a
go for it.
year-long fan campaign, Warner Brothers released Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2021, but one report says the studio wishes it hadn't. And a recent report from Vanity on DC's
Variety,
lengthy
not
struggles
Vanity.
to find its own version of Marvel's Kevin Feige, the magazine revealed that studios executive internally regret releasing Zack Snyder's Justice League. According to Variety, Warner Brothers executives feel that the releasing of the Snyder Cut only allowed fans to oppose Warner Brothers leadership at every turn. So I agree.
That's not why.
It only gave us more. It only fueled more fire to explain why this universe sucked.
I mean, 94% of people disagree with you, Matt. That's actually the highest audience score DC movie out there. Like, Zack Snyder's Justice League is really good.
It has to be. And that's where I don't give it a pass. It has to be, because not only did he get money to do reshoots and add extra shit that was never filmed when he left the film, you have a 4-hour movie and time to cut it the way it should. You've already seen all the fan backlash, so you have a plethora of what people are complaining about.
You're right.
And it gives you time to go back in and fix it. So it should have a 94% score, because he had time to it unlike every other movie where people sit there and bash it, you don't get to you hear about it after something's already been out there. So you don't get time to go back and fix it like he did with this. Like, you had the whole movie, you had years as it was out to listen to people's complaints, to bash it, and then you get to go back and fix it, and then you want to hang your hat on this is the greatest thing ever. It should be. It should be a 94% after all that.
I'm going to argue against that 94% because it's been proven that a lot of the online campaign where Twitter,
I knew this was coming.
They're bots.
I can't get a win with you guys. Come on.
No,
just acknowledge that it's a good fucking movie, damn it. Gosh.
It's not, though. Like,
it's not. I bought a 65-inch TV and I watched it on a 14-inch screen because he wants to be so artistic. It's fucking Batman and Superman. Why do you have to be so out of the box artistic that it just makes the movie unwatchable?
Dude, I watched this movie when it first came out on HBO Max. I've not watched it since.
I've watched it probably 8 times.
I'm not
all the way through.
No, dude, no.
I love it.
No.
I love it.
I haven't seen it, so I will have to watch it.
Please
long.
do, William Dafoe.
It's long, dude. Just be prepared to.
It is very long.
Yeah, it's like 4 hours.
It's Avengers Light, man. All they did was remake Avengers with Batman and Superman. That's it. The plot is the exact same as the Avengers. Space God comes down with trying to steal an orb of life, or orb of magical abilities, or I should say box, not orb. But
I mean, you're right.
The
plan he had was very similar to what Endgame ended up doing, but considering that was his plan before those movies ever came out,
it's the same story as the original Avengers movie.
It does have some similar vibes there, but like the 3-story Justice League arc he had, it was going to be pretty similar as well, just in the sense that he wanted to have, he wanted Darkseid to win, and then they were going to have to travel back in time with the Flash in order to fix stuff. So it was going to have a similar vibe had he seen his whole vision through.
Well, I mean, I just think we were talking about James Gunn being a one-trick pony. That's what I feel like with Zack Snyder. You can't find any difference in like Sucker Punch and what did he do? Did he do 300?
300.
Yeah. They do the same fucking thing. It's like Michael Bay, dude. He's no better than Michael Bay.
Yeah, I don't agree.
It's cheap visual effects to get you excited, but the story is flat every single time.
Also don't agree. I think his stories are very good, but maybe it's a vibe I like. It's not for everybody.
It's like watching. I'm sorry to say, but Zack Snyder's Justice League is like the white bread of superhero movies. It's just plain and fucking boring, man. Like, it was 4 hours of
So it's
Just
Wonder Bread. You just
boring.
compared it to
Yeah,
Wonder
it's
Kid
white bread, dude. It's
or Iron Kids. You guys remember Iron Kids?
it's
Oh,
as basic
yeah.
as white bread.
It's the
Like-
bread you buy when you can't afford the other bread. It's like a nickel for a whole bag.
I mean, bless your little heart for liking it as much as you do, Max. But I don't get it.
Max is a what's the word? Kind of a mark for these kind of things. Like he loves Batman versus, and there's nothing against him. Like he loves Batman versus Superman. He loves, fucking Man of Steel. You love what's the other
there's
one that came
something
out?
there's something about the way that Snyder does his filmmaking and tells his stories that I get something new out of every rewatch. Like I feel like his stories are really deep and there's a lot to them.
No,
And I think people are watching his movies looking surface level and not diving deep, and then they just say, "Oh, this movie sucks. It's white bread," when really it's not. I'm not saying he's Chris Nolan, because Christopher Nolan is like god tier director in my book, but I think Snyder's a really talented director.
Christopher Nolan's completely on the other side of the spectrum. He tries to confuse you so much to make you feel you're stupid. And
His
then you like
latest
his
one
movie.
was too much. His latest
Yeah.
one was Tenet was that was a bit much. I don't even think I've watched that one a second time yet. I've tried a couple times and then I give up halfway through.
I
And
don't
like
want
the
to.
movie, but
I don't want to walk out of a movie feeling like I am the dumbest human being in the world because I don't get it. Like
I blame Nolan for this Snyderverse though, because in a lot of aspects, you look at like Man of Steel I fully believe, I'm sure that DC execs were like, look, we had a hit on our hands with the Nolan Batman movies, the dark and gritty Batman movies. Let's keep going with that. Let's keep pushing that. Let's give me a dark
and
and
he
gritty
executive
Superman
produced
movie.
it.
And so Snyder just kept towing that line, and he shouldn't have. He should not have towed that line. Like it.
Well,
I don't know what people see in him. I just find Henry Cavill to be the most boring Superman.
well, I disagree there. I like Henry Cavill.
I don't feel like he.
I like every casting except the two in the back, Cyborg and the Flash.
Bring Brandon Routh back. Give that dude another chance.
But I don't know, man. Like Nolan's movies kind of ruined quite a few different franchises. Like Amazing Spider-Man never got off the ground because it was super dark. Like
I'm glad you think he's fine, Max Bender.
But
Not
like
Peter's, that Bender.
The Nolan verse kind of
My fellow Max.
the Nolanverse kind of influenced the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield and influenced the Snyderverse. You can tell, and like just the darkness of it and everything. I feel like, I don't know, man. It wasn't until Marvel started coming in doing the lighter tone stuff that you can't take yourself too seriously, man. Like it doesn't always work. I mean, Superman doesn't work if he's all in mute tones and fucking, brooding and stuff. Like that's not what Superman is. And Spider-Man doesn't work that way, right? We haven't liked Spider-Man until he was kind of jovial and joking around, and it just
Did people not like Spider-Man though? I felt like even in Garfield's, people usually said they liked the character. It was just they didn't like the movies. They thought the movies are too dark, or I know especially with Amazing Spider-Man 2, it was pretty poorly received for a lot of reasons. But I don't feel like the criticism was usually that they were like dark. I thought Amazing Spider-Man 2 is that it was just too cluttered with villains and cheesy and campy, and because I know Green Goblin, a lot of people hated that.
Yeah,
I don't-
that was.
yeah, I don't
Myself
I don't know.
included. It wasn't great.
I wonder what the audience score was for the Amazing Spider-Man 1, because I don't think it was that good. Like
I
I
thought it was
think
pretty good, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. It was
good
better than
enough to warrant
Spider-Man
a
3.
sequel. So
yeah, but Venom also got a sequel. So we can't really use that as a
All right, let's see. What
barometer.
was the 71% tomato meter, 77% audience score? I'd say that's pretty good. It's fresh on both ends.
That's fresh. Yeah.
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 Now,
But what
The Amazing Spider-Man 2, that
Wow.
one I think is way worse. Typos. Sorry for the clickety-clacks. All right, Amazing Spider-Man 2 was 51% tomato meter, 64% audience score.
See, and I love the Amazing Spider-Man 2,
I liked a lot about it. There's a lot of things that I thought were bad,
but I like it for nostalgia comic book fanboy reasons. Because
Here's what I'll say about the Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Gwen Stacy death sets up the best moment in No Way Home. When he saves Zendaya, MJ, oh my gosh. We saw it again today and I choked up again. I've choked up every time I've watched that scene. It's so good.
Yeah.
A lot of that is Andrew Garfield's acting, though. That guy, he knows how to act.
I will say this: the suit in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is probably one of the best.
It's like the most comic accurate.
Yeah,
suits,
dude, it is so fun with the big eyes and stuff. Like Tom Holland's did it one step further, where he actually had the eyes like shifting and stuff, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But when I saw Andrew Garfield's suit in that second movie, I was like, this movie's gonna be fucking awesome.
I think I want to see more of Tom Holland's suit that you see at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home.
We will.
Like, that looks just like a piece of art right off the page,
great.
man.
Well, what's next on the docket?
Coming next, D23 news. Disney unveils the official poster for the company's D23 event, showcasing various franchises, including Star Wars, Marvel, and The Simpsons. Beginning on September 9th and running through September 11th, D23, Disney's annual event, used to announce new projects or provide key updates on upcoming films and series. While the company is yet to confirm what it will be showing off in 2022, many fans are expecting first looks at several Star Wars and Marvel Cinematic Universe projects. And it's interesting that so the big buzz going around has been all of the spoilers and potential spoilers and Easter eggs that are listed in this poster, and that people think that there's going to be new projects announced and big things coming. Just kind of like we've already known that you're getting a live action Mulan. So I bet you we're probably going to see that. I wonder if there's going to be like a live action Frozen announced. Of course, you got your Mandalorian. I'm sure we're going to see, even though it already leaked online, you're probably going to see stuff for season 3 of Mando. The interesting one down there is Spider-Man. Lance and I were having a discussion about it before the show starts. Apparently people on Twitter of all places are saying that if you zoom in, it's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man because it's got his symbol. It does have his symbol, but it's interesting that they have Spider-Man. Of all the Marvel characters they have and all the Marvel stuff that's coming out, yeah, Black Panther's represented on there in the castle. Captain America's represented up there. But it's interesting that Spider-Man makes an appearance on this poster.
It's going to be freshman year if they talk about anything. I don't think we're going to get some big Spider-Man news, personally.
I think we are. I think they're going to announce Spider-Man 4. And I think the reason you're going to see that, I think the reason you see that symbol on that suit is because I have a feeling that since this is a 100% Peter Parker made suit, he's going to take a little bit of couple of things from both Toby and Andrew Garfield and combine them in to make his suit. So he always carries them with him.
Okay. I mean, maybe I feel like Sony would announce it, but maybe, has Disney announced a Spider-Man movie before at one of their conferences? I don't feel like they usually
haven't, but yes, Stick Boy, I understand that Spider-Man live action is Sony, not Disney, no matter what, but they are mixed into that agreement. And so they can, if Sony lets them, they can announce a Spider-Man movie at D23.
I don't
have that agreement.
I don't see any reason why. Yeah, I don't see any reason why Sony would say no. You can't announce this. Sony doesn't have their own big conference that they do. All it does. Ever since Disney got involved with Spider-Man, right? Sony, I think the last 2 movies broke their records as far as highest grossing in their studio's history, right? Far From Home and
No Way Home is the most successful Sony movie movie at that company.
Yeah, and I think it beat Far From Home. Because Far From Home was their first $1 billion movie at the studio. So that's obviously Kevin Feige and Disney's influence, and also incorporating him into kind of these crossover movies, right? Avengers and everything. That I don't see any reason why Sony's like, no, that's ours. You can't talk about it. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Now, where I do feel that maybe it is a misdirect is there's several characters on here that I don't think we're going to be seeing anything like Pete's Dragon's on here, the old 1960s Pete's Dragon. Mulan's on here. We already had a Mulan live action.
I think
Wreck-It
a lot
Ralph,
of this is just they're repping characters. I don't think everything means something.
and then Turning Red is down there in the corner. Like, there's certain characters on here. It's like, are they really going to revisit that? Maybe a Turning Red cartoon, show.
Well,
or
there's
something?
isn't there a Monsters Inc. 3 coming out?
Well, they have Monsters at Work, which is the show, but I don't think that's had
So then that's probably what that's representing with the Monsters Inc. Black Panther is Wakanda Forever. Then you have the Endor stuff down there. And then you have Buzz Lightyear for Lightyear. They got the Dumbo live action movie. They got
What I'm wondering?
With Wall-E. They've got the Guardians of the Galaxy Nova ship up there. So
I think they're going to
Simpsons?
release. We gotta see a special sneak peek of Andor during the IMAX screening last week that I went to. I bet they're going to release that at D23. I'm hoping that's all they release. I don't want to see any more of that show before it comes out. Not really. I'm sold. But the scene they showed was awesome, by the way. I'm so excited for that show.
the candle in the window there is Encanto.
yeah,
So are they doing a new Encanto, or
I don't think everything on here
that's the point I was trying to
Easter
make.
egg. Yes,
Yeah, they're not.
Little Shang-Chi symbol down there.
it's interesting why they would put Spider-Man down there whatsoever, because we didn't get any information. There really wasn't anything to show at San Diego Comic-Con for Spider-Man freshman year. That's not even coming out till 2023. So
Yeah.
there was nothing to show there. So
What's interesting is think of the things that aren't on this poster.
Indiana Jones is on there.
Yeah, the fifth one's supposed to be. I've heard we may get a trailer for the fifth one, but think about what's not on here. X-Men 97. You don't think we're gonna get any sort of clip or anything? There's no mutants on here whatsoever.
No, because they showed it at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah,
They
I
showed
agree.
a clip of X-Men 97 at San Diego Comic-Con.
It's heavily rumored that Fantastic Four is going to be talked about. There's nothing like that on here.
Well, like I said, I don't think they're going to give everything away. If they started throwing Fantastic Four stuff on here, that's going to be people are going to go crazy for.
I just think it's a lot of their most recognizable characters that they have. I mean, I really think that's what this is. I mean, what is that monkey that's hanging on the tower there? To the right of Oswald.
It's a boo.
I don't think so, dude.
I don't either. That's the only Disney monkey I could think of.
No, yeah, I don't know. But
I don't know. You nerds are reading too deeply into this in my book. Wait a week.
I was I was just going off of Twitter was exploding over this poster. Everybody analyzing every single piece of it, and I think we are potentially looking too deep into it.
I think though, we got the Mermaid Tale for the Little Mermaid. They got a live action Little Mermaid coming out. I think that to keep in mind with the Spider-Man thing, I think Sony has really pretty much said, look, Marvel, we're lending you out Spider-Man. You do what you want to do. If you want to announce it, they're working together. Sony knows what's going on just as much as Marvel does. So I think Sony's kind of letting Marvel take the run on this version of Peter Parker, and they're focused more on building their Spider-Man-less Spider-Man universe, because they're focused on, Kraven the Hunter and Madam Web and all that. They're not focusing on what's going on with Tom Holland and in the Spider-Man universe as far as Marvel's concerned.
That shit's got to get shut down, dude. I'm so sick of that Spider-Man-less Spider-Man universe.
Who knows? We'll find out more next week.
It's crazy how much speculation is out there about that poster. I'm just looking quick little Google search. There's tons of people
It's insane, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's insane how much is floating out there. Like people screenshotting. You know,
And Sony would make a Christmas without Jesus.
but think we've been Marvel has done this to us before, right? You remember when the Doctor Strange poster came out with all the glass shards, and we zoomed in on a piece thinking we saw Deadpool?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
it's heavily rumored that Deadpool was in that movie, and he was one of the scenes that got cut.
Yeah. It's
I don't know, guys. I still think it's in the movie. We just haven't found it yet. Deadpool's in there somewhere. Confirmed.
No, Sticks. I think the Mermaid Tale is the Little Mermaid movie that's coming out.
Yeah, the live action one. What is I don't know what that is. A Kraken? Or is that for Pirates of the Caribbean or something? The big tail
Or
thing?
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Could be
Mhm.
Ursula.
Then you got the
Like-
Yellow Submarine. Are they doing another Beatles thing?
Maybe.
The Finding Nemo ride
Where's
Because
Finding
they've
Nemo?
got the
with a submarine. Like that looks like the ride. I don't think that's what it's about.
Oh,
but
they got
that's
the two characters from Luca.
that's the Yellow Submarine from the Beatles. Like that's their exact logo.
oh,
But Winnie the Pooh, Gonzo flying into space.
Oh, that is Luca down there.
Yeah.
Where's Gonzo?
He's up by Slave One. Right look right next to Slave One. He's to the left of Slave One.
What is Slave One?
it's Boba Fett's spaceship.
Oh,
Lance, I'm sorry. I love you, buddy, but you gotta go. You don't
Max,
even know what-
I like your outlook on this.
you don't even know what
poster. You're
Slave
like,
One
eh.
is.
bro, I'm not a Star
Max,
Wars
I'm
fan,
also
man.
working off of 4 hours of sleep, so I'm just like I'm too tired to talk about this anymore.
I like it though.
Max has let his friend down drastically.
Oh, Lance doesn't. It's funny. I have two huge passions: Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. He's not into either of them, but yet he and I are still best friends.
Yeah,
But
no thanks on Lord of the Rings.
Well, I've gotten you into Star Wars a bit, though. You like the shows now. You're not as into it as me, but we can talk
Yeah.
about it.
But yeah, they have like the little boat from Moana down there. So I think there are some things in here that are thrown in to get people talking, and some of it is just pure like reason of characters. So
The thing behind Maleficent is the big Epcot
yeah,
egg or whatever they call that.
It's true. That is.
the dome.
Okay, so we've got an Epcot movie coming out. It's going to be all about Deadpool's adventures at the theme park.
There you go. I like it. All right, we've beat this up. Let's go. Tusk star Justin Long recently revealed that Kevin Smith may be making his cinematic return to the Great White North for the sequel to the Walrus-based horror movie. In an interview with Slash Films, Long, who played the podcasting protagonist Wallace in the 2014 Tusk, shared that Smith texted the group text that he and Haley Joel Osment and Genesis Rodriguez are a part of, saying that he wanted to do a sequel. Justin Long said he thought it was a joke and then realized that Kevin Smith wasn't joking. Please don't. Here's the
thing.
I actually like the first half of Tusk, but the moment he turns into the walrus, it just becomes stupid.
Here's the thing, and yeah, I'm going to get kicked out of the podcast briefly for this. I think I've never heard of this movie.
Same.
It's all right.
I've never heard of this, but I'm
It's
not a
one of
Kevin
his-
Smith guy.
It's one of his lesser watched one. It's so obscure that
Yeah, because it was all started by it all came about of an idea on a podcast that he does with Scott Mosier called Smodcast, and they pitched it, and then they basically wrote a movie for it. And it's about a podcaster who goes up in Canada to interview someone, and the dude is like a psychopath and turns him into a human walrus. He's
Sounds
been
kinda
killing
funny,
people
actually.
and making a skin suit out of human skin to turn him into a giant walrus. So
this is in the same, like, this isn't like his regular universe, right? This is all in like that Yoga Hosers.
yeah, it's part of his Great White North trilogy, which is supposed to be Tusk, Yoga Hosers, and Moose Jaws. Jaws with a moose.
I
I've
swear you
never-
guys are speaking another language.
Is that I've never seen. Is that out?
Moose Jaws? No, it hasn't even been made.
Oh,
But
I was gonna say. I'm like, had no idea what
he was
that
trying
is.
to get that movie made for so long, and it never came about. And then he tried to do, Mallrats 2, and that didn't pan out. And then he ended up doing Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, and now Clerks 3. And I have a feeling, depending on the success of Clerks 3, he's gonna go back and revisit Mallrats 2.
I'm actually on board with a sequel to Mallrats.
But
I don't really care about a sequel to this.
No,
but
I ain't either.
But Mallrats, yeah, I'm down for that.
100%, man.
Mm-hmm.
As reported by the direct Hawkeye actress, Haley Steinfeld is expected to return after being included in an article on the official Disney Latino website about Marvel superheroes you need to know before seeing Phase 5 of the MCU. The now deleted list includes the following entry on the Marvel arc. Kate Bishop, a character played by Haley Steinfeld, was introduced to the public in Hawkeye, the Hawkeye series, and is one of the members of the Young Avengers. In the comics, an admirer of Clint Barton, Hawkeye Jeremy Renner, the young woman decides to follow in his footsteps. Besides being an archer, Kate is also an excellent fighter with knowledge of different martial arts, as well as being an excellent fencer. So I think this is only, I'm just throwing this in there, but I think this is something we all knew. I don't think this is like massive breaking news. I think we all pretty much figured this.
No, I loved her, so I'm down to see more of her.
Do you think we
down
might
to see much more of her?
Yeah,
in many different ways.
I didn't mean it that way, but
do you think it's possible we might see her like in Echo or Ironheart or something like that, like some cameo? Is that why they're maybe saying this?
I think you're gonna see her in the Avengers movies. I think,
but those aren't even part of Phase 5 yet.
But it's Phase 5 and 6.
Phase 5?
Phase 5 and 6.
Oh, there's 6. Okay.
Yeah, but before seeing Phase 5, and I'm just looking at what's coming out in Phase 5.
I think you'll see her, and I think you'll see her show up in quite a few things.
Yeah, I could see her in Echo. I mean,
what did they do?
Why not?
They're going to. I think you're going to see her a lot in Echo, or a lot of like after credit stuff where they build to Kang Dynasty.
Or Daredevil potentially.
I'm sure she'll be in Daredevil. She's a street. So if you're paying attention, but Kevin Feige's already said it. They're trying to build your outer space stuff and your street level stuff,
and so the mythical stuff too, right?
I think that you're going to see that. The mythical stuff too with Shang-Chi, I guess, and
Doctor Strange
and all that. But I think you're going to see the street level stuff. So I would not be surprised if 18 episodes, man, 18 episode first season of Daredevil. There's no way she doesn't show up in Daredevil.
I can't believe they're doing 18 episodes. That's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. I mean, she could make an appearance in She-Hulk for all we know. I know that's not Phase 5, but like that could be kind of funny, you know, because She-Hulk's in New York, right? Aren't they both in New York?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the two of them having a funny conversation. Their power levels are, on different tiers, obviously, but
all I know is that Haley Steinfeld movie studios want to be in the Haley Steinfeld business right now. I mean, as far as young actresses are concerned, like she's a big name, I would say.
Yeah, I think she's well liked and she's talented.
Makes total sense for them to try to put her in anywhere they can. I mean, they hit a home run by casting her, in my opinion.
I don't even think there's anyone else in the conversation, because her name was the first one you heard when this, Kate Bishop coming on this big screen was talked about, and it just stayed. I don't even know if anyone else was even talked about.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin Feige was looking at anyone else. I mean, her name was associated with that character since the beginning, and I think honestly, before even the announcement that anybody had an inkling that Kate Bishop was going to be developed, I think that people were already fan casting her in that role.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just perfect. I mean, I don't know. She's the best part of the show, I would say. A Hawkeye show.
Yeah, she's
10 out of 10 would smash.
What's funny is she was the ugliest little kid. I don't know if you guys have seen True Grit.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, man.
the remake, not the original.
Yeah, the remake. She wasn't.
She was not born when the original
Yes.
came out.
Decades until she was born.
Hartman said, "Well, it ain't Jeremy Renner we want to see."
I like Jeremy Renner.
I think Echo. I'm kind of looking forward to Echo. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. You know.
Yeah, I'm
Or-
stoked to see how a blind and a deaf character are going to interact. Like, that's just going to be interesting.
Oh, Vincent D'Onofrio, blind.
No, I'm talking Daredevil and Echo.
Is he heavily centered on that show? Is he a main
I don't know. I
character?
just have a feeling I don't know. I've heard rumor that they're going to he's potentially going to be in it
I'm sure he will
with Kingpin there and everything. I think he will be.
Well, Kingpin's going to be blind at least some of it.
Yeah.
Dude, Hartman is hilarious in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, Hartman. I can't keep up with him in the chat. I can't keep up with him.
Moving on, She-Hulk, attorney at law, head writer and producer Jessica Joe told
Gout.
the direct Gout told the direct that Marvel Studios has someone whose job it is to maintain continuity with the MCU projects and ensure a cohesive timeline. Gao mentioned this when asked about her, where She-Hulk falls into the MCU timeline, saying it's definitely after post-Endgame. There's actually is a Marvel person whose job it is to trace the timeline of everything, track rather the timeline of everything. And we checked with him a lot, but where the timing is, and it's like the show is a few years after Endgame.
So is this a newly developed position? Because they used to suck at this.
I just want to know how I can apply for this position because I would like to apply. Do you know how badass it would be to go to a fucking party and then someone's like, oh, or your high school reunion and they're like, well, what do you do? Oh, it's just my job to make sure that the continuity of the Marvel film stays intact. And you're like, what? That's going to be like the best job ever, dude.
That would be a fun job. Well, what we do know is that it takes place at the same time as the events of Shang-Chi. Like, that's pretty clear.
Well, yeah. It's running parallel to Shang-Chi.
And I thought Shang-Chi was only like a year and a half after Endgame.
Well,
I thought they even like said that in the movie.
Well,
but
the show, it doesn't really say that it's at the same time as Shang-Chi, that it's just the footage comes out from Shang-Chi. That like it's not a live.
Lance,
he
it
gets
says breaking news, and it's a live news shot of him fighting in that underground fight club.
No, it's leaked footage. It was not live. It even says, I watched the episode twice. It even says that it's leaked footage. He was in the cell at that time. It says in there this leaked footage that we just obtained of him fighting at some underground ring. It wasn't live.
It's.
I don't remember being live, but I could have sworn he met with Jennifer Walters and I thought he got broken out of prison that night.
You see her say, what the hell, or this sucks or whatever. Next episode, you see her going to the prison and he's in his cell.
Yeah, because Wong put him back.
I don't think it was happened simultaneously. I really don't. I think he broke out of his cell prior and then the footage leaked.
So you think this footage could be 6 months, year old?
Yeah.
He didn't break out of anything. Wong broke him out.
I understand. That's semantics.
There's
but
missing
what
words.
I'm saying, yeah, that's semantics. But what I'm saying is there's nothing that tells us that it is simultaneous. In fact,
maybe I'm making assumptions.
I would argue that the language that they're using when they're talking in that news article makes it seem like it's not simultaneous. Yeah, video just released.
But Zaggy says it's video from before. Not that hard, Lance.
That's what I said. I don't understand.
Zaggy's agreeing with you.
Yeah. Matt's the one saying it was live.
No, I'm saying that it's running. I said it's running parallel to the events of Shang-Chi. So,
I don't think that there's anything that
in a world of the internet, you think that somebody was like, "Oh, I got this footage," and they just sat on it for months.
Yeah, I don't know. We know that it's
All
also
they say is we just
Spider-Man.
obtained. Yeah, all they say is we just obtained this footage. That's all they.
Yeah,
That's all they
because
say.
If
So it
anybody's
could have
sitting at
been.
that thing and they're like, "Holy shit, that's the Abomination fighting," and they're gonna film it, it's gonna be up right away. So that's why I'm
just-
saying the way the
you're
internet
assuming.
works.
You're
the way
assuming.
the internet works. Yeah, I am assuming, just like you are.
No, all I'm saying is that we shouldn't assume that it's at the same time because we don't know. That's all I'm
Good.
saying. I'm actually arguing against assuming. I'm
But
saying
you're
I don't
assuming
know.
that it's not though. So
I'm saying that
we're both
don't
making
know.
assumptions.
I'm saying that we don't know. I don't think that's an assumption because I'm not definitively
You're
saying.
assuming we don't know. That's an assumption.
Oh,
Bro, how do you
All
assume?
I'm saying is they're both.
How do you
assumptions,
assume?
dude.
How do you come out and say we don't know? And that's do you understand what an assumption
You're
is?
assuming that you're assuming that this video footage isn't taking place at the same time.
I'm saying we don't know.
You're
I think-
assuming that we don't know.
I think it's taking place concurrently with Shang-Chi events.
I agree.
But
I agree with Max.
It could be.
But-
it could
but-
not. That is exact
Hold on.
opposite of assuming something.
hold on, though. Hold on. You know what? I'm going to take it back a little bit. And
Oh,
actually
here's
say, hold on. Let me
Okay,
finish
go
my
ahead.
thought. Because Bruce Banner appears after the events of Shang-Chi. Oh, never
With
mind.
a sling.
Yeah,
He's-
that's true. He's got a sling in his
He
arm.
appears
and
in
he's-
Shang-Chi with the sling on his arm as Bruce Banner,
Yes.
not as the Hulk, as Bruce Banner.
But we see him in the first episode of She-Hulk with no sling.
As Bruce Banner, his arm is healed. He's got a sling on in the car.
Yeah.
He's got a sling on in the car when they have the accident because he uses her blood to heal himself.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is
Okay.
that Shang-Chi would have been before She-Hulk then.
No, so
Because-
it would be you see him appear in She-Hulk in the sling. So then he could have left to go with her on that vacation during the events of Shang-Chi.
That makes
Got in
no
the car
sense,
accident, healed himself. It does
That-
make sense. Watch the
No.
episode.
No, he's in the beginning. The first episode, he's in the sling in the car, uses her
Right.
blood to heal himself.
Correct.
At the end of Shang-Chi, he's still in the sling.
No.
So
he
if in the
appears
third episode,
Okay.
if it's
Is
live,
this what you were hoping for, Stumbling, when you
I'm telling
agreed to
you,
come on tonight?
Yo, I love this.
you're in the third episode of She-Hulk, if that's live, how does the end of She-Hulk show him in a sling if the first episode of She-Hulk
the
shows
end of
him in a
She-Hulk
sling?
doesn't show him in a sling.
Or at the end of Shang-Chi shows him in the sling, and the first episode of She-Hulk shows him in the sling. That makes absolutely no fucking sense.
I'm just telling
Unless
you, dude.
You're
he
going
gets
like
injured
this.
again.
But
Yeah.
the after credit scenes don't line up. Look at Captain America in the Winter
This
Soldier.
one
When
does,
they've got
because he
Winter
just
Soldier
defeated
in
his
the
dad.
Vice. It was used as an end credit scene at another movie.
Bro.
Just because it's in an end credit scene doesn't mean that it's not
Well, I
running
think
at the same time.
I think Shang-Chi is very clearly after the events of Shang-Chi, but you're
Shang-Chi
not.
is clearly after the events of Shang-Chi.
No, the end credit scene clearly
Yes.
takes place after he's now a superhero and he's defeated his dad, the Mandarin, and all that. That's all I'm saying. So I think logic would tell me then that they're either running concurrently or
All I can say is
Shang-Chi
you can't-
happens after. I mean,
You can't definitively say anything. That's what I'm telling. I'm telling you not to assume that these are happening at the same time.
But the points are.
I think
the
logically
proof is in
they
the
are.
pudding, dude. Logically, they are. The proof is there.
Because she
But we'll see.
literally says we've just obtained this footage. It's not
But
live.
that's fine. But I can take footage like anytime and upload it right to the internet. I could
Yeah.
take a footage at your house tomorrow and upload it to the internet, and someone's gonna go, "We just obtained this footage." Doesn't mean it's not live. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's
Yes, it
live.
does.
Sorry, doesn't mean that it's live. It just means that.
But
footage
that's
was
what you were
uploaded to the
arguing
internet.
with. That's what
But
you were
so
arguing against.
if you go to a concert,
Okay, we're beating this. We're beating this, dude.
I'm just
You said it was live. I said don't assume that it was live. That's all I'm saying.
no. You're saying don't assume that it's taking place at the same time as Shang-Chi, that they're running concurrently.
Matt says he wants this job. Let him get his points across. This is his interview. He's going to send this.
I
argument
would
in
not
tomorrow.
hire him.
because you're wrong and you don't want to admit it.
No,
That's
I'm
all.
not wrong.
That's it. All the proof is there. Like I
I
said,
changed Max's
Shang-Chi
mind.
has him in a sling as Bruce Banner. That's the first time you see him as just Bruce Banner
Mhm.
since Endgame.
At the end of Shang-Chi.
Yes. And at
Let
the
me
end
ask
of-
you: was the scene with Abomination after that end credit scene? Is that how your timeline works?
Yeah, it could be because you don't know what the
Fucking
timeline
dumb,
and after
dude.
credit scenes are.
No, dude. No.
Yes, dude. I'm telling you, Winter Soldier has that too, man. You
It
see,
can't happen
Okay.
because the end credit scene is him after he's obtained the rings after defeating his father. He has the rings. How did he get the rings? He defeated his father, which happened well after
But it doesn't
he went to
mean
the Fight Club.
that it can't jump around. It doesn't mean that that scenes can't jump around, man. Like
But
I'm
it
just saying,
doesn't in that movie.
Bruce Banner. This is the first time he has admitted that he says that he took that time to
Stumbling.
become Bruce Banner again.
This is the best Friday night.
His
I've
arms
had
is
since
in a
last Friday
sling.
night.
He uses the blood of her to heal himself, and then he becomes Banner Hulk again. So what I'm saying is I can take a video of you tomorrow, upload it the same day, and they're gonna say we obtained video footage. I think they're running concurrently. There's nothing there to say that they're not.
There's nothing there to say that they are.
I
That's all I'm telling
just
you.
told
Don't
you
assume
3
anything.
times, dude. How
No,
what's there that
because
says they are?
you
All right, I'm done
you
with
are
this.
consistently contradicting yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm
Yes.
explaining to you how it matches up that there is evidence that they are running concurrently.
No,
Okay.
your evidence.
Then you need to go
is-
back and rewatch Shang-Chi and the first 3 episodes of She-Hulk.
Listen to it, dude.
And then
No.
I'll expect your
Move on.
apology next week.
Listen. The end credit scene, he's in a sling. The first episode, he's in a sling of She-Hulk, right? This is the 3rd episode
How many
where they
times
show
do I
the
have to tell
footage.
you that
All I'm
end
saying is
credit
that
scenes don't fit chronologically.
but this
like
one,
that.
this one does because he has the rings, and the only way he got the rings is by defeating his father.
And
They're
the
Tell me what
analyzing the
happens
rings
before
in the
that.
end credits.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that the events of She-Hulk, it doesn't mean that they're not running the same way. It doesn't mean that they're not
But
taking place at the
bro,
same time. Do you
bro,
really think that somebody sat on that
bro,
footage for
just
months and
listen.
were like, oh, well,
Just
he
listen.
Hold
got
on,
out of
hold
the
on. Let me-
domination.
When they
Can
show
I
the
play-
footage on the screen, is his arm healed?
Can I play devil's advocate really quick here? Because
Yeah.
when Bruce is there in the end credits scene, it's a hologram projection or whatever. Who knows where he's going right now? Maybe he's going to World War Hulk. Maybe he gets injured again, has nothing to do with the Infinity Stones, and when he's talking to them, he's in a sling again. Like, who knows? Maybe that could be the case. Maybe there's going to be some events that happen that he gets injured as Hulk in a different manner, and now he's got a sling again, and he's Bruce, and he's speaking to them via space. I'm just saying. I mean, who knows? That could be the case.
All I'm
Like
saying is you can't argue the events of Shang-Chi, right? It happens. Max, can you agree with that? Like it.
I
Shang-Chi-
can't. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying, for all we know, the end credit scene could take place 6 months after Shang-Chi. And we don't, you know what I mean? And Bruce got healed in She-Hulk, and then he got re-injured in a different way.
But that just reinforces my argument of saying don't think that the re-injuring himself in another way. I mean,
I think it's more likely that all those events took place before She-Hulk. But
I
that's
think
just
you
my
have to
opinion.
look at he can't really like.
But I think there's
He
a
had-
short window.
The only reason he gets injured in that car crash is because he has that inhibitor, right? They had to put that's a plot device, right? He has the inhibitor. That was the only way he was able to get hurt to give her his blood, right?
Yeah.
Because any other time he's gotten hurt, he turns into the Hulk immediately, unless the Hulk's like in Infinity War, he's like, no, I don't want any part of this, right? The Hulk just won't come out. But the events of Shang-Chi, you can't say, like, at the end of the movie, he has the rings. He defeated his father to get the rings. So that obviously happens at the end of Shang-Chi, whether it's 6 months, a year later, or whatever. In the 3rd episode of She-Hulk, he is healed. So how can you say that there can't be, like, I just don't understand how you can be so definitive.
That the story is running concurrently. He's got
No,
the events of the events of Shang-Chi. He's in the sling. He uses her blood to heal himself in episode 1. So that means that just because maybe it wasn't live, but that means that the events of Shang-Chi are taking place during She-Hulk because this is the 2nd time now.
I think She-Hulk
connects back
happens
to it.
after Shang-Chi.
I think they're
every
running at the same time.
Nope.
Okay. We find out at the end of the series. What is Hartman bringing up? Stumbling, please insert it.
I mean, I had to mute myself because I was laughing at all his comments, man.
Yeah.
What, Bruce Jenner?
Yeah, he's just
Hartman's
he's just
going
trolling.
off.
So Stick Boy says, when the fight that took place, the building came under attack after Wong returned him to his cell. The club in Bangkok or whatever doesn't travel that fast from far east to the new Western city.
But and that's fine. What he's saying is correct. But what I'm saying is Hulk's arm shows you that one happens and then the next happens. So there's obviously distance between the third episode of She-Hulk and the end of Shang-Chi. There's obviously whatever time it is, there's distance. Could be a week. It could be 6 months. It could be 5 years. It could be anything. But it definitively tells you because Hulk's arm is healed.
Oh, no, we shouldn't assume. So there's no definitive of anything. There's no assumptions.
Can
we talk about Deadpool?
Don't assume.
Yeah,
We're
go
moving
forward,
on.
dude.
No
Go
assumptions. Don't assume.
Can't convince.
Oh, here's another one we can assume on too. A new theory suggests that in the final post-credit tag in the scene, it should be in the She-Hulk Attorney at Law series, the show might introduce MCU's Deadpool. The theory suggests that during the final episode of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, the post-credit tag reveals that she's been talking to Deadpool all along. How it happens, if it happens at all, is a mystery. They could simply show Ryan Reynolds in full Deadpool outfit with Crocs sitting on the couch and watching She-Hulk Attorney at Law. It also could be a parody of a more famous Marvel Cinematic Universe post-credit scene. Perhaps Jen walks into on Deadpool staring out a window and asking, "You think you're the only superhero in the world that can talk to the audience?" Whatever they decide to do, it would capture the geek discourse or discussion, as you will, for the next 2 weeks. And it would.
It would. I'm not holding my breath for this. But it would kind of make sense here. They're both fourth wall breakers. They're both comedy characters.
Right.
But I've stopped expecting this kind of stuff because then I just get disappointed. MJ put it great. If you expect disappointment, you can't be disappointed. And I like that mantra now for MCU cameos.
I have a feeling that Deadpool's just going to become the newest Mephisto or whatever. Everything's going to have a Deadpool cameo. Everything's Mephisto. Everything. It's just people are clamoring to
Mr. Fisto.
People are clamoring for Deadpool. People are like, it's just, he's going to be attached to everything. I don't know.
I think it'd be cool. I'm just not sure if it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool too. But
everyone is streaming porn at your hotel. You know, you're on a microphone, Stumbling. You can address the chat in verbally instead of having to do it.
We're just breaking his habit. He's used to just typing everything, and now we have him on the show. Just gotta break the habit.
What do I do with my hands then?
Yeah.
What is that movie? Will Ferrell.
Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights, man. We'll shake.
Such a good movie.
And bake.
Oh, so good.
Pedophilia, what?
What?
I don't.
Peppa Sylvia. What is he talking about?
I don't know.
Anyways,
I don't know.
moving on.
We'll see.
It appears as though Star Wars fans need not dismay as the upcoming second season of The Bad Batch looks to be sticking to its previously announced Disney Plus premiere date. Earlier this past June, the Disney Plus homepage revealed that Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2 would debut on Wednesday, September 28th. However, Disney Plus recently disclosed its list of upcoming content for the month of September 2022, and the second season of The Bad Batch was notably absent, leading to concern that it had been delayed. That said, one of the streaming services employees has seemingly cleared up any confusion. A Reddit user has shared a conversation they had with a member of the Disney Plus Help Center team. The employee affirmed that The Bad Batch Season 2 is indeed scheduled to premiere on September 28th. So there you go.
I'll be honest with you. I liked Season 1, and I am fine to watch another one, but I don't care. I am so much more interested in Andor. I would honestly probably rather they delay this show and just as soon as Andor's over, then start releasing Bad Batch. I don't really want to watch both shows every week. I don't know. Did you watch Bad Batch at all, Matt?
I watched the first episode.
Were you not into it?
No, I wasn't. Not at all.
It's definitely, well, I shouldn't say it's the worst Star Wars cartoon. That's what I was about to say. That's Resistance. But that cartoon is so bad, Star Wars fans like don't even include it in conversation when they talk about Star Wars content. Like it's just not even talked about. But as far as like the Star Wars cartoons are concerned, Bad Batch is my least favorite. But I like it. Stumbling. I mean, your name's literally Stumbling Jedi. You're a Star Wars fan, right? Do you watch this show?
Well, I do not watch that show, but there's a reason behind why I chose that name.
Okay. Well, now I need to know.
Because you're a master of being a drunk?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I not even called you a drunk. I just, figured that's what it probably was stumbling and then Jedi.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always trying to walk the Jedi path, but I'm just always stumbling along the way, and most of the time I'm inebriated.
All right. I figured you were a Star Wars fan, and that's why.
Stick
Like
Boy
Solo
says
Wookiee.
Star Wars Resistance is awesome.
Sticks, you're literally the first person I've ever heard say that. Even my son couldn't get through 2 episodes. And he loves cartoons. I don't know.
Moving on, Fantastic Four Sue Storm casting is underway. Here's a leaked short list. When all this Reed Richards casting is going around, Sue is also being cast. Some names that have been talked about are Lillian James, Amanda Seyfried, Felipe So, Jodie Comer, Soares.
Was she the one from Suarez Ronan? Is she the one from
Suarez
the one
Ronan.
that kicked the hornet's nest? Is that the same woman?
I have no idea. And Vanessa Kirby. So it goes in the. I've added the photos of each actress. It goes in the list as it goes in order of the list. So you got Lily James, Amanda Seyfried, and Felipe. So on the first slide.
All right. Should we all pick on the first slide who we would pick of these 3? I'm going to pick Lily James. That's my favorite from the first slide.
Yeah, I agree.
If I had to pick one of these 3, it'd be her.
She's really good in Baby Driver.
She is.
Did you watch Pam and Tommy?
My second would be Philippa. I don't think Amanda Seyfried would be.
Is she
for this?
Is she Pamela Anderson and Pam and Tommy?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She's got a fake prosthetic chest on her in that show.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I had to
Amanda
pick
Seyfried,
one of
no.
them be hurt, I do not want Amanda Seyfried.
I like Amanda Seyfried, but
The
I don't
girl in the
want her
middle
that
does
well.
look like Madonna. Stick Boy, you were correct. Then he's doing. I like
Jodie Comer.
yeah, Jodie Comer
100%.
from
That's who I'd
Free
pick.
Guy.
She's my favorite of all of these. I like
Yeah.
Jodie
Yeah.
Comer a lot. Not only is she's the most pretty on this list. If I'm just going to give my celebrity crushes here from this list, but I think she's a great actress. I think she'd do really well as.
I don't know her
Sue
from
Storm.
anything other than Free Guy. Has she been in other stuff?
Yeah, she was is it called The Last Night? She was great in that. Oh my goodness. That's the one. It was why am I blanking on the name? It's the guy who did The Gladiator. Why can I not think of the freaking Ridley Scott? So it's a Ridley Scott movie, and it's got Adam Driver in it and Matt Damon, and it's
The
The Last Duel, not The Last Night, The Last Duel. And it's basically about her. She's Matt Damon's wife, and she gets raped by Adam Driver's character, and it's about them like having a duel to settle their differences about it.
She was apparently in Rise of Skywalker as well.
She's Rey's mom, but it's such a small role that she could be in Star Wars again. No one would even really notice because she's barely in that. But yeah, in The Last Duel, she did a fantastic job.
She's
Very
in,
strong female character.
The TV show Killing Eve.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but
She's in a lot of British television stuff.
The middle one is from Lady Bird and stuff. I knew I recognized her from somewhere.
yeah, I think my least favorite on this of these lists is Vanessa Kirby. I like her like in some of the stuff I've seen her in, but I think she's a horrible choice for Sue Storm. And then Amanda Seyfried. Those are my two least favorite choices.
I don't even know who the Philippa Sue. What's her name?
I don't know her either, so I can't make a very informed
Philippa
decision.
Sue.
But I mean, so I can't say if she'd be good or bad.
Oh, she's from Hamilton.
Oh, then bad.
She's one of the sisters from Hamilton.
No thanks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like Hamilton, but that's not because of her. I just don't think it's that great.
I would argue she was the best part of it. Her song.
I don't remember who she is.
She's the mother of Hamilton's son.
Does she actually? I shouldn't say actually sing. Just because I'm not into like rap doesn't mean it's not singing.
She was on the Broadway play and the Disney Plus movie.
Because there's only like a couple of like real songs in that movie.
I don't want to assume, but I'm pretty sure that the Disney Plus movie is the entire cast from the Broadway play.
Yeah, it's the original cast.
It is,
except for the King. He's not the original.
Yeah, I'm looking at her. I've seen stuff that she's in, like Tick Tick Boom, but she was a small role in that. I haven't really seen her in anything other than Hamilton.
She sings the best song. The Max and I talked about this. The only song that I like from that whole movie, she sings it.
There's one that two sisters sing. Is she one of the sisters?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah, I like that song. I like that one a lot.
The two
that
sisters,
and the King song. Those are the two songs I like from that.
Who's the girl on the right?
Your mom.
She's
Philippa
from
Sue?
Hamilton.
That's who we're talking about. Yeah.
I thought that was a girl that dated Justin Bieber.
Oh,
No.
Selena Gomez?
Yeah.
No.
That's not Selena Gomez.
Oh, stumbling Jim.
But if you met her in person, I bet you would say, "Hey, I got a picture with Selena Gomez," and then show it on the podcast.
No, he'd say, I got a picture of Willem Dafoe.
No,
Guys,
he
I
wouldn't.
took a
He'd say,
picture
"I've
of
got a
Ben
picture
Affleck."
of He'd say, I got a picture of William Dafoe.
It's Salima Gomez, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say Selena Gomez. is what you would
Yeah.
Did you say Saliva Gomez?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Salima? I don't know. I thought that was her.
Last story of geek news: Red Hulk will finally premiere, rumored, in the MCU by the way of the upcoming Captain America 4, aka Captain America: New World Order. The only question is exactly who is this version of the character and who will play them, as the actor who's played Thunderbolt Ross has passed away.
William Hurt.
So either they're going to recast Thunderbolt Ross or it's going to be a new
I think it'll be a new character. That'll be
and
Red Hulk.
surprisingly enough, like it's interesting that they're going to do it in Captain America 4 from the rumor, where you would think it would be, they kind of hinted towards it in this episode of She-Hulk that we'll get into in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'd love to hear what you're talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The
I
very end of the episode.
Yeah, I still have no idea what you're talking about.
You'll figure it out.
We'll get into
Okay.
it. But that's exciting. Red Hulk.
Yeah, I'm cool with it, but I don't think they're going to recast. I think Marvel is learning you don't recast when the actor died. You know.
I gotta show this off real quick. Stick Boy's hard at work.
Is he
Over
hard at
here.
work sending you dick pics?
Matt, you're multitasking here. We have a new segment from Stick Boy here. It looks like, if I can share my screen, Screen Crushers with Max.
What is that next to his head?
It looked like
the,
a football hitting him.
That's my new Vader art.
Oh, it's in your thing. Oh,
yeah, it is. I did.
I thought it was a football being
That's what I
flung
thought
at
it was
your
doing.
head.
That was like a football hitting you.
It's funny because I thought for a second, I'm like, oh, do I have a Zoom background on? Because I never have issues at work when I use a Zoom background until I got this freaking thing. If I move my head to either side of it, it'll pop up in my Zoom background now. Didn't have an issue before. So for
Yeah,
a second, I was like, what was that?
It's mono. It's a solid color, so it's Zoom is recognizing it. Like that's how it works. Like your wall and your door and everything, and then that is so much of just one color.
Yeah.
that it's throwing Zoom off.
I could do a
Hard-
Max's Crushes segment. That would be fun.
It's a Hartman says it's a segment where we watch recorded webcam footage of him on his laptop. Not rated.
Oh boy. You know how bored you'd be? I'd just be sitting here playing video games, and you just literally have a video of my face, just like.
Speaking of video games, great transition, Max. Let's get into some gaming news.
I've got to be warned when that's coming. I got to take my headphones off or something, dude.
And gaming news, a major leak of the Assassin's Creed franchise appears to have revealed the title for the upcoming game, along with fresh details and its release date. According to the leak, the next game will be titled Assassin's Creed Mirage and released sometime in spring of 2023. The title reportedly takes the series back to basics with no leveling system, no dialogue or gender choices. Though unconfirmed, it appears Mirage is the new name of the previously titled Assassin's Creed Rift. Based on rumors, the game will be set in Baghdad. Assassin's Creed Mirage reportedly takes place between 860 and 870 EC during the anarchy at Samara, which saw immense internal instability in the... I can't see that, it's so small. Abbasid Caliphate? Thank you. Good. I'm glad you can see that. With the violent succession of four, can't see that either. Caliphs that become puppets for several rival military groups. The game will follow Basim, first introduced in the Assassin's Creed Valhalla, as he has grown up as a thief in Baghdad before joining the Assassins.
Yeah, I was assuming this was going to be Basim's game because they've been rumoring that they were going to do one for him. And I like this idea. If they're gonna give us back like traditional Assassin's Creed, I like the new ones like Origins and Valhalla. I think are really good. I think the combat's a lot of fun. I like the RPG elements of it. I really like the new direction of Assassin's Creed, but I also love the old style. So I'm kind of excited about the idea of going back to form. And I think it'll still be modernized combat. I don't think you're going to be getting like Assassin's Creed 3 style combat or anything like that.
Mashing
that
type
would be
stuff.
bad. Well, that's what the current combat is kind of button mashy with parrying and dodging and stuff and special moves. But like, I don't know. I think you're going to get something a bit better than what you got in the old Assassin's Creed games, but not quite the same as what you get in the new ones. And I think it's going to be more stealth based. And I like that. Like, I want to do Assassin's missions and be an assassin. Like, that's what I miss. As good as Valhalla was, you're not an assassin. Like, you're literally not part of the creed ever in the game. And that is a kind of a bummer to me. Even though that game is great overall.
I haven't beaten... I can't say that because I did beat Black Flag, but like, I really haven't beaten an Assassin's Creed game since the Ezio story arcs.
Oh, dude, Ezio's the best.
So
the combat is dated. It's not as fun to play as it used to be, but his character is gold, man.
Yeah.
Love Ezio.
But
he's Italian. I knew I liked Italians, man. Started playing that game before I even met Lance.
There you go.
I loved Valhalla, but it was too long, dude.
It's long. I probably put 120 hours into that game.
Yeah,
because I played all the DLC and stuff. Although they released the DLC in March, I'm gonna have to look out for that when Black Friday rolls around. If that's on sale for like $10 to $15, I'm gonna have to pick that up.
I actually just deleted Valhalla from my Xbox because I haven't touched it in forever.
I might have deleted it from my PC. I've had it downloaded since I got it, but I think because I've like done everything, I've done all the DLCs, and I don't want to buy the new one yet. And it was probably taking up 100 gigs of space on my PC. So hey, Jedi, I see you're typing a comment. Just say the comment out loud. We want to hear from you.
I was just typing. I thought we were going to review the top Pornhub videos this week. That's literally what I have typed on my screen right now.
Oh, man.
Moving on, Microsoft CEO Phil Spencer confirms the Activision Blizzard game library, which includes Call of Duty and Diablo, will be available via Game Pass.
My mind is blown. I cannot believe that a studio that they bought is going to have its games on Game Pass. That is crazy. Who could have seen this coming?
I find it funny that Candy Crush got its own little slide there.
Right.
Because Candy Crush is like probably their most profitable game on that list.
Mobile games, though, right? Isn't Candy Crush
it's a mobile game?
Yeah, but Game Pass is console.
Yeah, Candy Crush isn't going to be on Game Pass, but it's just like it's part of the image when they talk about the acquisition because now Microsoft.
This image has nothing to do with Game Pass.
No, it's just like this is their mergers and acquisition picture.
I was confused. Confused.
I don't know, Matt. Did you think that they wouldn't be on Game Pass? Were you going to say something? Like
No. But I think it's a big. If like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 comes out in October and Overwatch 2 come out day one Game Pass, I think that's a game changer for sure.
Oh yeah.
In Xbox's favor. Like if Xbox fans get that on Game Pass as to where PlayStation fans have to pay for it, like full price, that's definitely a game changer.
It's a huge deal. It'll push console sales. Like people are going to be like, you know what? Especially the ones that do nothing but play Call of Duty.
But it's not even console sales. It's PC as well because Game Pass is, you can get Game Pass on your phone.
Yeah.
Game Pass on your PC.
I was just thinking, like, if you're more of a casual gamer who just likes to play the new Call of Duty and the new Madden every year or something like that, which is fine. Like, there's a lot of gamers like that, and that's fine. Maybe all they play is FIFA and Call of Duty and, the new, car game that comes out, Forza or Gran Turismo, whatever. You know what I mean? There's gamers like that. And if you're like, well, I could just pay, because maybe they only care to play Call of Duty for 2 months. Like, I could just, for $30 get a subscription every year on Xbox and play Call of Duty that way. Like it might convince them to say, screw it, I'm just going to get the Xbox instead. It might push PC sales. In fact, I know it will. I was just kind of thinking of that market of people who are more casual and they're looking for a place.
I'm thinking that this, as well as Xboxes, are a hell of a lot easier to find in the market. Like both of those things combined would probably push Xbox sales, in my opinion.
Well, the Xbox,
the digital one,
the Series S is a lot easier to find.
It's the one that nobody really wants. They want the big terabyte, the
big boy.
Version.
Yeah, but even that one's easier to find than the PS5. Although I did see a guy walking around Best Buy the other day with 2 PS5s in his hands. Just waiting to check out.
There's a man in this group that just got a PS5.
Oh yeah, stumbling.
He joined the rest of everyone else in this fucking group that got one. But
nice. I was playing my PS5 earlier today. I got the Last of Us remake. I'm a sucker and paid for that game again.
Did you pay market like at a store? Or did you pay, no, not you, stumbling for his PS5. Did you overpay for it, or did you buy it from like a store at regular price?
No, I bought it directly from PlayStation. I finally got an invitation and was able to get in line like 2 weeks ago. And so I was able to score one at MSRP, but I still haven't played it yet because I'm traveling for work.
The digital one or the disc one?
Disc.
Oh yeah, good man.
Yeah.
Yep. It was the
digital gamer, but you got to get the disc dread, man.
You got the Horizon the Horizon Forbidden West bundle.
Nice.
Yeah.
The console looks identical, right? They didn't do anything special to the console. It just comes with Horizon.
I haven't even opened it. I assume so.
Yes, it's just the console.
Because PlayStation was doing like those custom, like they had a Spider-Man one come out. I haven't seen them do that with this one really. Like all different skins and stuff. They were doing.
I think it's because of the PS5. It's so hard. Like they're selling out of them as soon as they make them, and there's the shortages and stuff that.
Yeah, they don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
hasn't it been out for 2 years, almost 2 years now? It'll be 2 years this holiday.
Yeah, I've never seen the backlog this bad. Like it. Well, I mean, when a new console comes out, it happens, that they'll be in back order, but this is bad.
It's
graphics cards
shortage.
Yeah, the chip shortage. Yeah, and the COVID excuse has become a cop-out excuse at times, but it's a legit one. They're still recovering from that, I think.
Well, it's affecting,
but it's way better now. Like the 3090, for instance, that's like a $1,500 graphics card. It's currently the best graphics card you can get. Well, I think there's a 3090 Ti now, but anyway, it's like one of the best ones out there.
That's what I have, right?
No, you have a 3080. But they used to go for like $1,500, and now you can get them, I think, for like $12,000, just still really expensive for nothing but your graphics card. But they're going down in price. They're becoming more available. But now the 4000 series GPUs are going to come out, and it's just going to be like, those are going to be so hard to find. And now I really want a new GPU. So
Our
I can
next
play
story
Turtles
is
on August 30th.
Yeah, it already came out. The Cowabunga collection hit stores this week. I bought it and I'm disappointed.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
So I don't know how the other versions are, but I bought it on the Switch because I, was like most of these games came.
Seems like a
on
great place to
Nintendo
buy
product.
it. Yeah.
Huh?
That seems like a great place to buy it.
Yeah, most of these games come on a Nintendo product.
They're original Nintendo and Super NES games. Like the Switch can handle it.
In Game Boy, and
one of them was only released on Sega Genesis.
Okay, well,
and
the point is they're old.
So I loaded it up, tried to play the original NES Turtles game. It is very laggy and glitchy. Same with I tried to play Turtles in Time, very laggy and glitchy.
Really?
I wonder if it's better if you're on a beefier system.
They have online play. It's very hard to so you can play Turtles in Time with other players, similar to what you can do with Shredder's Revenge. It is almost impossible to connect to other players.
Man, that sucks. Because this is the kind of game, I don't have a Switch, but if I did, this is the kind of game I'd want to get on there, because I'm not the kind of guy that's going to spend a lot of my time playing this at my house as much. I'd play it a little bit, but Shredder's Revenge, I've only played maybe 3 hours total. If that, maybe it's only been an hour and a half, honestly. But if I were to go on vacation, I would love to play this. I'm at an Airbnb after doing everything, going to the beach or whatever on vacation, or I'm on a business trip or whatever, and I'm just chilling in the hotel room and playing this. That's the Switch makes so much sense. So it kind of sucks for you that it's not a.
Yeah, I'm hoping that maybe it gets, the bugs worked out and updates and things like that. But yeah, it was very, very glitchy trying to play the original NES Turtles.
Is this going to be available on Game Pass?
Not that I've heard.
No, not right now. Not yet.
Because Shredder's Revenge was, right? Yeah.
Shredder's Revenge is on there. This might come eventually, but it wasn't a release date for Game Pass.
But it's only $40 if you want to get it. It's available on all consoles. I just went with the Switch because I don't play anything else on my Switch other than Pokemon. So I was like, this is a fun game that if I ever take my Switch somewhere, I can just play it. Or you want that I want that nostalgia of playing the original NES Turtles on a Nintendo system, and it's just super glitchy. Yeah, $40. It's $40, but you get every Turtles game made except for Shredder's Revenge. So
yeah, it even gives you doesn't it have Hyperstone Heist and Turtles in Time?
Yep.
Yeah, and those were Hyperstone Heist was the Sega exclusive, I'm pretty sure. And
you get
they came out at the same time, I think, concurrently. I think if I remember correctly, I mean it's decades ago. But I thought Sega was the Hyperstone Heist was their version of Turtles in Time, and Nintendo had their. I don't remember.
So
they even
I'm
have
skimming.
They even have the classic Turtles arcade game on here. So, what were you gonna say, Max?
I was gonna say I'm just skimming IGN's review to see what maybe it has been said about it. They have a section called the online experience here. Online. Another sour note is the online experience. It's mostly abysmal. So clearly you're not the only one to say that.
Is
and then they talk about
just for
input.
Nintendo?
They don't say. It might say on here what it was reviewed on. I can't.
So
they reviewed it on Xbox Series X, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. So in general, the online experience is bad. They said the input latency isn't great and it needs work. So it looks like it's not just Switch. It's just, I guess it's an issue they're saying with lots of retro ports that the input latency is bad.
Yeah, because you get the original Turtles arcade game. You get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. You get Ninja Turtles. What else? You get the Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. You get Teenage Mutant the Hyperstone Heist. You get the original NES Turtles, the arcade game. Manhattan Project,
Maybe it's
the
Manhattan
Game Boy version, Follow the Foot Clan, Back from the Sewers, Radical Rescue, all the like Game Boy ones. So yeah, you get a bunch of games up here. So it was, I mean, the price point, I didn't have a big problem with it. It's just like I said, it's laggy, it's glitchy, it's not what I was hoping for as far as like being able to enjoy all those Turtles.
The
games.
Shredder's Revenge run a lot better then.
Shredder's Revenge runs amazing, but I played on PC. So.
Yeah, but I imagine Shredder's Revenge also runs well on Switch because it was
Probably.
built. It's a new game built
Yeah.
to seem like an old game. When I think the issue with these is these are old games that they're
Just
trying
the
to like
ports.
port, and
Yeah.
it's just doesn't translate as well.
Hopefully, as they go along and update the ports, it'll get better. But
Hopefully,
I was a little disappointed.
that's too bad.
For
Cowabunga.
$40, that's a lot of games though. So I might have to grab that on PC because I did get Shredder's Revenge after I saw Matt. You guys were streaming that for a while, and that's the reason that I picked it up. And I thought that was a great game. I haven't got too far into it,
I
but
love Shredder's
Oh,
Revenge.
it's a blast, man. It's a blast.
It's just like how they were back in the day, man. Like I feel just nicer.
A little nicer looking, but still in that
Yeah.
retro style.
yep, absolutely.
But
Love it, man. Love that game.
all right, well, let's get into reviewing some TV shows. Watch your ears, Lance. All right, let's talk She-Hulk. We have no Ish here tonight, so we can't get a synopsis. So, Lance, why don't you go ahead and break down She-Hulk for us?
Essentially, this episode takes off from where the last one ended.
As it usually does.
Yeah, like directly from
Don't
the last
assume
one.
that it does.
It honestly, it should have probably just been one episode last week's in this one. But it literally like they broke for a commercial break. So she has to defend what's the guy what's his name? Abomination. What's the guy's real name? Emil?
Yeah, I think so.
Emil Blonsky.
Yes.
She has to defend Emil Blonsky. He's looking for parole. Nobody wants him on parole. She wants him on parole. Hulk wants him on parole. That's essentially it. And then what's his face makes it. I shouldn't do this, dude. I'm not good
Wong
at this
makes
shit.
makes a cameo.
Yeah, Wong makes an appearance. Megan Thee Stallion's in it for whatever reason. There's twerking involved, and it's I don't know. There's not really much to say about this episode.
I totally forgot about the twerking scene.
Yeah, she's defending Emil Blonsky. He wants parole. He has 7, soulmates or something. I don't know.
The Wrecking Crew makes an appearance.
Yep. And
Is that
that's
who
the
that
part,
is?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's who that is. And that's the part where I'm saying that I'm surprised they don't use that for Red Hulk because the guy stabs her and tries to get some of her blood. And when she hulks out, he can't do it. And he radios back to his boss that he was unable to get the blood once she hulked out because he couldn't penetrate her skin.
So I don't know much about the Wrecking Crew, but I saw one comic fan really mad because they're like, the Wrecking Crew is cool, and you made him look so weak. And so some people are hoping that that's not the real Wrecking Crew and that it's just some random guys that got the same weapons that the real Wrecking Crew will eventually use. Do you have any thoughts on that, Matt? Do you care?
I don't. The Wrecking Crew is so minuscule to me. I don't care. Like I've accepted that there's going to be some, differences between the comic books and the shows now. So I'm just kind of like whatever.
Don't touch that.
Just wait for her cycle stealth mode.
I mean, it's not a bad thought if you're just trying to
That's
get
fucking
blood.
disgusting.
It's a viable strategy, though.
It is. But the other, I can't think of the name, but the male attorney that she used to work with at the DA's office is suing a Asgardian shapeshifter elf for basically making him think that she was Megan Thee Stallion and then he was in a relationship with her and he spent an absolute buttload of money on her. And so he's suing her for damages. I thought that was kind of fun.
When he's asking him the number amount, he's like, "I'm going to say a number," and you say yes or no. He gets to 200. He's like, "What do you think? I'm an idiot?"
Yeah,
it was 180,
like 170,000. Yeah,
yeah.
But and then it's funny when she impersonates the judge, and I don't know. I didn't mind the twerking thing. Like it's
just
whatever.
I thought it
fun.
looked awful.
Yeah, it looked awful, but
terrible.
That's
But
honestly
I don't
for
really
the
care
thumbnail.
that she did it.
For the thumbnail, I was looking for that image of her twerking, and everything I found just looks like I looked up high-res images of that. Like everything I found looked awful. So I decided not to use it, which is the reason it's not on our thumbnail. Like nothing looked good.
I heard someone make a joke. They're like, so they were willing to shell out money to get Megan Thee Stallion to cameo, but they couldn't give any more money to the CGI people to make this look better.
But
I don't know.
There's only we also found out that there's only one man that can handle a twerking She-Hulk. I'll show you who it is right now. The only one man can handle that.
There's your Pornhub video stumbling.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, and I didn't even have to pay for premium.
Yeah, the episode just seemed really pointless. Okay, this is something I asked Max when we were at the movies earlier. She heads the superhero law division. Then she signs Megan Thee Stallion to a contract to be her representation. So is Megan Thee Stallion a superhero or supervillain or whatever?
She is a superstar.
The whole episode I didn't hate it. I could have not had it. Does that make sense? Like if they never made this episode, I wouldn't have known the difference. Like
if they hadn't made this show, you wouldn't have known the difference.
Well, I mean, I liked the show. The first two episodes I liked, but this episode, like half the episode just could have been included in last week, and then the other half of this could have been just cut out.
I liked the first two episodes just fine. Like it's a silly little comedy. I think my favorite episode, honestly, has been the first one. That was probably my favorite so far. But this one was kind of like the first 10 minutes. I was like, this is awful. Like there was some humor in it that I'm like, this is just like cringy bad. But then it got a little bit better.
This episode?
I because Ish had come into the chat like the day of the release and was like, the episode today was awful or something like that. And I was about 8 minutes in at that point, and I replied in our like chat saying, yeah, this is bad. This is cringeworthy. And Matt was saying he liked it. And I'm like, well, let me keep watching. And it got better after that. But for some reason, there was a couple of jokes in the first like 8 minutes of the episode that I was just like, this is awful. It was just, and I don't remember specifically what they were. It's not like they were that bad that I'm like getting point to them. But
I mean, personally, I'm liking the show, but I'm taking it at face value and what it is. I don't have any expectations. Like going into it, my expectations were very, very low. I'm actually having fun with the change of tone in the MCU with it. And
I'm liking it more than I thought I would.
And I liked the new episode even for what it was. I thought the twerking thing was funny, but I think that Jennifer Walters is dummy thick, and she can.
What did you just say?
She's dummy thick, bro.
What does that mean?
Know what that means? Come on,
stumbling.
Gen
you
Z this for us,
dude. I was gonna go to Google
Urban Dictionary.
Dummy. Yeah.
You don't know what dummy thick is either?
No, sir.
Oh my god! All right, never mind. She's thick,
Yeah,
bro.
come in.
She's thick.
No cap.
No,
bruh.
but why? I understand what thick is. What is dummy thick?
It means that she's got it going on. Just go. I'm not gonna just go to Urban Dictionary, dude.
No, this happened.
Has got it going on.
This happens at least once a day. Somebody says something. The fuck did you just say? Like
It's because we're getting old, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Like last year, thought was explained to me. And I said that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
What is that? Tell me.
It's literally thought means that hoe over there.
Yep.
It's
Wait, what is the
stupid.
context that people use this in?
Look at that thought or
So dummy thick basically just means that someone is exceptionally voluptuous.
Yeah, we used to just call that thick or voluptuous.
I don't think we called it thick. Thick's a new thing, man. I'm pretty sure that's a Gen Z thing that we've adopted.
We said that in high school.
I don't remember saying
my friends and I did, but yeah.
I say juicy.
Yeah, juicy. I remember juicy.
That was
I remember curvy.
Yeah, it's just like instead of just saying thick, it's like when they're really, really thick. So it's not like they just got a big booty. They got a fucking badonkadonk, a big booty.
She dummy thick.
Booty. Yeah,
so
exactly.
dummy kind of replaces, like we used to say, that stupid.
Yes.
Like anything was
anything
that was
over hot.
Stupid hot or whatever.
Yeah.
So dummy just kind of replaces that.
So that's the funny thing, right? If you look at like the millennial generation, what we grew up with, we were big fans of saying like a negative word and it being a good thing. Like, oh dude, that movie was bad, man. Like, I don't know, it's just like our thing. It's funny to see how the trends change, but I guess dummy thick is a similar idea. Dummy's a
like, have you ever
word.
seen that episode of Futurama where Zach Brannigan and Fry are stuck on the planet of all women? They're used just as sex slaves.
Yeah.
Snoo. I would totally let her break my pelvis with Snoo.
Oh my goodness.
I'm disappointed in. Well, I'm just more disappointed in Stumbling Jedi for not knowing that than I am Lance and Max and their sheltered lives.
I don't live a sheltered life.
I did. I've never watched Futurama.
Max,
I don't know what half of the words in this segment mean.
I'm just amazed that Matt was able to recall something like that episode from Futurama, Snoo. You couldn't have paid me $100 to recall that.
I can, dude. Fuck yeah. I love that show.
Yeah, stupid thick I would have made sense to me.
It's essentially the same thing. Dummy thick, stupid thick. It's just not nice to call people stupid.
Nor is it nice to call people a dummy.
Dummy's okay. That's how the political correctness has changed. Stupid. Don't do that. Dummy. That's all right.
Yeah, dummy thick. Dummy thick.
That will get added to the vocabulary now, so I am going to.
You're welcome.
I'm going to say this to tomorrow and see if they get it.
I'm gonna start telling people, like, I'm gonna use it all over the place, man.
Yeah, I think
that's dummy cool, man.
I think once we start using it, the people that are actually cool,
they won't use it.
That's the point. You got to use it to where they just cringe at you. It's like, dude, I just saw this movie and it was dummy sick. Dummy sick.
The one that I hear most often that makes me want to throw a shoe at somebody's
that
face.
ass is bipolar.
What the?
The one that I hear most often that literally wants to make me like throw a shoe at somebody's face is when they go, "Oh yeah, bet."
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah, means like
all right, like I'm in.
Like,
I'm
you
in.
got it.
They're like, "Oh yeah, bet, bro."
You bet.
Yeah, it's basically you bet, but they go, "All right, bet." I hear it on TikTok all the fucking time, and I literally want to throw my phone every time I hear it. Whatever. I don't
know. There's a lot of things that I see that I'm like, that's stupid. There's a few Gen Z slangs that are good. Like they got, no cap's kind of cool. I think no cap is all right.
What's that one?
Just like it means like no joke. It's basically what it means. Like if you're
no
saying
cap?
Like, yeah, and I'm probably using it wrong, to be perfectly honest. But the idea is like, yo, I saw these two guys fighting at the mall the other day, and their noses were draining like crazy. No cap. Like, I don't know, stuff like that. If there's any Gen Z are listening to the show, they're probably just like, dude, this old man is saying it so wrong.
It's
to be a teenager.
It's mean like there's no lying. It's not a lie. Like no cap means
that's what I say. No joke. Like no lie. It's like it's just it's a sillier way to use it. But I'm just saying they probably don't use it the exact way I just did in that example.
Lance, your homework for this week is to go scour Urban Dictionary and learn some new terms.
Well, I'm looking at the top 50 Gen Z slang words, and I know most of these.
Aaron says boomer.
Yep, called me a boomer. Yeah, some of these are cool, like glow up. I like
Rule number one: if you're over 35, get off TikTok.
Hey, I'm still good then. I've got
Yeah,
a year
see,
left.
I know all these. I know, like, let me break down and see what you guys know. Fam, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Family.
Glow up.
What is it?
Glow
Okay.
up.
Yeah, glow up. I like that one.
Yeah. Meaning
I don't know
that
what glow up is.
you've aged well.
That's just like a makeover. Like, look at
No,
that glow up.
no, not a makeover. It means
Yeah.
you've aged well. It means
No.
you were an ugly duck. Yes, it
I
does.
am on parade.com. It literally says this means a makeover or transformation from bad to good. It's not necessarily.
Well, the way
an
they
age
use
thing.
it on TikTok is they're showing old pictures of them as a child with pictures of them now. That's how they use it on TikTok.
That is one way to use it.
It's
Listen
short
to
for-
me as the resident under
Dude,
35-year-old. Okay.
Listen,
I've
glow
got
up
the
is a
cool.
play on grow up. Glow up is literally a play on grow up.
You're not wrong. Let's move on.
CEO, which that's pretty self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm.
Cancel culture, we all know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's a Gen Z thing. But-
Stan
Yeah, I don't know that one.
means you're a
You're
soccer
obsessed
fan.
and-
Soccer
but
fan.
not in a creepy way.
Yeah. E-boy or e-girl.
Yeah, it's just like emo,
Yeah, it's
but for the internet culture.
W. We all know that one. Dank.
Yeah, I like Dank.
Dank means good or excellent or high quality.
Ghosting.
That
Yeah,
one's
we
fine.
know that one. That one, yeah, you just stop replying.
Yeah.
Salty.
Salty.
Yeah,
Big
that's-
yikes. Bougie.
yeah.
I hate bougie. I think that's stupid.
Bougie.
I use that against my
Bougie.
Finna.
against my
Finna
mother
is
the
the
other day.
dumbest fucking one
I
out
hate
there.
finna.
I'm gonna finna have dinner. Or yeah.
Finna have dinner. That's stupid. I hate
Yeah.
it.
So here's that cap
I'm
one
finna
you were
tap
saying.
that ass.
High key.
Okay, that's the one I was trying to think of. I hate low key and the way it's used.
Low key, high key.
Like I didn't like the first time I saw someone use it. I'm like, what are you saying right now? And they
You've
explained
never
it to
heard
me.
low key?
I hadn't heard it until a couple years ago, and then I was like, that's
Oh, we used to say that when I was in high school, low key.
well, it's a stupid phrase. Say I low key want to do this. Like I really want to do this is basically what that means. Like that doesn't make
No,
any sense.
low key means you don't want any high key means you want people to know you're doing it. Low
But
key
people
means you
use
don't
low
want-
key that way. That's what I'm saying. If you want to, like when we were growing up, I would say, hey, we got to keep this thing low key. That makes sense. You're keeping the party low key. You're not telling people about it. But like I see people nowadays use it as I low key want to do this thing. Like I really want to do this. It's
Yeah.
stupid. That's not
No, that you're reading that wrong because
I'm
I say that. Yes, you are. When you say
I'm
I
not.
low key want to do this, it means almost like you are you are ashamed that you really want to do this. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, that's what low key means.
You're reading it wrong.
You're admitting like a guilty pleasure when you say
pleasure.
something's low key. Like when
Yeah,
you're
like I low key want to click this link.
Yes, it's a guilty pleasure.
or you
Yeah.
I low key watch The Bachelorette.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I
That is
low
a
key
hor-
watch Jersey
that is a
Shore.
dummy way. Okay, I'm sorry. Stupid is offensive now. That is a dummy way to use that phrase. Okay, that's dummy.
High key is exactly what you just described, Max. High key, which is on this list.
Regardless, it's a stupid way to use that terminology.
I don't
Keep
think
the
so.
party low key. Keep this thing on the down low. Like that's fine. But using it this other way, it's dumb.
Well, it must have been because you didn't even get it.
Stupid.
Then you have Simp.
I
Simp is
got
just
it
basically
fine.
struggling Jedi, stumbling Jedi, struggling Jedi.
Simp.
I
That
low key
is-
want to eat an entire cake is the example they use on Urban Dictionary. That's a stupid way to
No,
use
it
that.
means that you shouldn't be eating a whole cake, but you want to.
Yeah, you're ashamed that you want to eat the entire cake.
yeah.
yeah,
I
so
think it
say
makes
that.
perfect sense.
Okay, I'm a boomer yelling at a cloud at this point, and I'm okay with it.
Pretty much.
So, simp is essentially how Max feels towards Zack Snyder.
Sure, I'll take it. I
Camp
simp for that man.
is ironically trendy. Snack, yeah, that's easy.
That's what She-Hulk is. She's a snack.
TFW. That feeling when.
Yeah, I'm not good with acronyms. Every time I see TFW, I'm like, wait, what is that one again?
Couple of them. I follow this guy, this dad and daughter that like he'll go to her and be like, hey, what's it mean when it, be kind, rewind, and trying to have her figure out, but she'll do the exact opposite to him. And a couple times I've been stumped that I don't know what the hell she's talking about. Woke, sip tea. I didn't know this one. Sip
Yeah,
tea
it's
is
just like
alternative
spilling your secrets. Yeah.
Sip tea. I don't
Yep.
even know how you would
Spill,
use
or
that.
they say sip tea or spill
looking-
the tea or
We're
Yeah.
clearly looking at the same list, and Some of these I don't know.
L.
Okay.
L is the opposite of W. Take several
take
seats.
that loss.
If
Living
somebody,
rent free, I like that one. You know, living rent free in your head. That's cool. I like that one.
oh, the sheesh
Hartman.
thing. That's the one where they do this, right? Sheesh. Isn't that the one where they do this?
This is fucking Hartman, dude.
What did he do this time?
Blow her back out means sexy time hard. No back issues. It's all wordplay. Fucking Hartman.
Vibe check. I've heard this a lot in the NBA.
Drip.
Period.
I'm dripping.
T.
Hits different. Live rent free. Bet.
Catch these hands. I've heard that one.
Vibe
Finesse.
check.
Not heard that one.
You've
Catch
never heard
these
of
hands?
Catch These Hands?
Nah,
I'm pretty
Jeez.
sure it's been in movies that you've seen.
Yeah.
You just don't recognize it.
that's fair.
It means like
Or
you
get these
basically
hands
say,
like you're about
hey,
to,
if they don't,
you're about to start a fight.
yeah, if they don't shut the fuck up, they're about to catch
Okay.
his hand.
I hope Max Bender's still listening. Have you guys ever heard about boxing someone's ears?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
it's the
going to
same
box
thing.
your ears, okay? Box your ears. It's used
My mom used to
constantly in
tell
the
me
Wheel of
that.
Time series.
All right. Here we
That
go,
phrase is
boomer.
always used in there.
They've been saying that for decades. Boxing.
I had
your
never
ears.
heard boxing your ears until Wheel of Time, and the
My
author uses it all the
grandmother
time.
used to threaten to box my ears.
Yeah,
Yep.
I still. Yeah, I hadn't heard it before.
It's kind of viewed as physical abuse now.
Well, it sounds like physical abuse.
Yeah, I've heard of people getting their ears boxing their ears and it rupturing their eardrums
Hmm.
because the pressure, like when it's bad. I don't know. Most of these I know, but dummy thick is not on this list. I'm just teasing you, man.
Well, I'm finna watch the next however many episodes.
And
of
ride a
She-Hulk
leather
are left.
whip like a donkey. Man, Hartman's into some fetishes, dude. You light yourself on fire, ghost riding the whip.
Coming up with this shit.
I think he's
I don't
just
know,
pulling
man.
shit out of it thin air.
I don't know if Hartman's just really funny or if he is intoxicated when he's doing this.
And this is why I
But-
like fucking Sticks. Sticks gets it.
What'd he do?
I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Sticks
Alright.
gets it.
Oh my goodness! All the characters in the background.
Yeah, you got emo Peter Parker. You got
I can't tell who's
Thanos and
behind.
Joker.
I can't tell who's behind emo Peter Parker
Yeah, who is that?
and the dog.
That I don't know. It's just some big dude dancing.
I don't know, dude. Looking at She-Hulk twerking though, it looks like they put pillows in her pants.
She's
It just
dummy
doesn't
thick,
look
bro. She dummy
Yeah,
thick.
but it doesn't look real though.
She dummy thick, bro.
I don't know. So with every the last few Marvel TV shows that have come out, I feel like we've said repeatedly, it feels like they're cramming too much into there's not enough episodes or what. I know at least I've said it. Now I feel like they're stretching it way too long with this show. Does anybody else feel like a lot of it is needless?
I don't think that. I think
I
it's
don't know
just
about
focusing it. It's a different focus. It wants you to focus more on the Lord. She's trying. I don't know. It almost feels like it's playing devil's advocate with itself because it's like she wants you to focus on the lawyering part of it, but everyone else wants you to focus on the superhero part of it. So it's like it's a show struggling with itself and what it's meant to be. But I'm here for whatever it is. I'm enjoying it for what it is.
I think it's going to get better. From what I've heard, the 4th episode is a highlight.
I liked the first two a lot. This one was a pretty big downer for me. I thought it was pretty bad. So hopefully I like the next one.
I feel like it could have just been included in last week's, and then maybe I wouldn't have hated it so much.
Pulling a Home Alone is when you dip out on your kids and go on vacation.
Yeah, that's called child neglect. Those parents are awful in that movie. You watch that once you turn to an adult and you're like, geez, they're awful. They treat Kevin so poorly.
Yeah, they're assholes to Kevin. That poor
Yeah.
kid.
Everyone in the family is. I'm like, he's like 7.
That
Give
poor
him a
kid,
break.
man.
Is he
Yeah.
7?
He's young. Maybe he's 8 or 9, but he's not very old.
He was old
I'm
enough
just-
to go to the store by himself.
I'm
yeah,
just
and
trying
be
to think,
questioned for it. Like,
my son is 7, Lex. He
How
would have
old is
died within like
Kevin?
4 hours.
In Home Alone. Let's see. How old is
My
Kevin in Home
son
Alone?
would have died
8.
within 4 hours.
He's 8 years old.
Yeah, he's 8. All right.
Oh yeah, dude. He's an advanced 8-year-old because mine would
is.
not survive.
Dude, Kevin with prep time could take on Batman. That's a
Dude.
pretty impressive 8-year-old.
Let me tell you how I love my son to pieces, but let me tell you. So we were all home. Anna
Kevin was the
gone.
first Mary Sue, and I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to go.
Anna was gone. It was me watching the kids. I say, hey, I need to go take a shower. You guys like fend for yourself for like 15 minutes. He went and cooked some macaroni and cheese in the microwave, like in a little cup, grabbed it. It was so hot that he splashed it and like burned his face. This happened within 20 seconds of me turning my back on him. Like that, I don't know, man. Kevin McAllister was a different breed.
Yep.
But we lost Stumbling and Max all in one fell swoop.
Yep. Because you're talking about Home Alone.
Hey, Hartman brought up Home Alone.
It's all right. I feel like we lost Stumbling back in it's Friday night in Phoenix, so it's all good.
Yo, dude,
I don't feel like Stumbling has done anything.
I haven't done anything. I'm just
You
here to
haven't.
hang out.
You talk all this shit to me all week, like, man, I'm gonna come on that show. I'm gonna be like the Jamie. I'm gonna be the life of party. I'm gonna say stupid shit. You guys are gonna make fun of me. It's gonna be a great time. And you've done nothing but sit there.
Yeah, dude, I haven't. This is my first time on
You've done
coming on
nothing but-
AGP.
No,
Yeah,
this is
man,
your
let him
second
find his
time.
feet.
You've
Let
done
him-
nothing but sit there and talk in the chat more than you've talked in the show.
Oh man, now he's
Exactly.
Yo, give me time, man.
Mhm.
gone. Yeah, give him time.
It's like they gave you shit for saying Willem Dafoe or William Dafoe instead of Willem, and now you're just like shut down. You're like,
Well, dude, it's because I don't want to get made fun of. And Hartman's on a roll. He'll
no,
eat
this
me.
guy,
He'll eat
no,
me
there's no
alive.
cutting him slack because he talks to me all week. He talks all this mad shit about how he's gonna be like, dude, I got personality, Loki. I got personality. Like, I don't know quite as much
Oh,
as you
don't say
guys
low
about this
key,
shit,
or
but,
else Max gonna
but
start
I
throwing
got
shit.
personality, and I'm gonna rock this shit. And it's just like, all right, dude, let's
Yeah,
see
but
it.
I mean, I'll figure out my footing. I don't know where I fit in yet.
What I miss?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing.
Me
Matt
getting
just used
getting
low-key in a way
made
that
fun
you
of.
hate.
Yeah.
Oh, again?
Stick
I
Boy
know,
says.
right?
Stick Boy says, call him mumbling Jedi now.
Hell yeah.
And then you got Zaggy wanting to know. He's saying Hartman always talks, but can he kiss?
That should be a podcast episode. Make out sesh with
Next
Stubbling
week,
and
he's gonna
Zaggy.
read haikus. Apparently,
I gotta see if Mumbling Jedi is taken on Instagram. That's a good one.
I still got to get you your logo, dude, that you asked me for.
Please do, man. Please.
Yeah, I was working on it, and then I had to work on something else, and it kind of dropped off. So I got to get back on it.
Put me on your client list. We need to talk about the giveaway for finally getting to 500 subs because I owe somebody a 9.8 slab and some other good stuff.
Holy shit, he talks.
That's what we got. Yeah, you're a dick, dude. Hey, I gotta be honest with you. I'm low key listening to the people in the room next to me have sex, so leave me alone.
Turn your mic up loud and put it against the wall. Let's hear some of that action.
That'll get us 1,000 subscribers.
Right now, go bang on the wall and be like, "She done me thick, bro," and see what happens.
No, hold on, I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, that'd be so dope if he was like, "Oh no," all through the wall.
It's crazy. I thought I might have heard a mating call, but I didn't. No, but how do you want to do let's do this sub giveaway tonight. Let's get it done. I don't know if we'll give it away tonight, give people that are on Spotify a chance to win too, but what do you want to do? Like and repost, comment in this video. Hartman's probably going to win because he blows it up. How do you want to do it?
I don't know. You think about it. You let us know.
Oh no, come on. I think if somebody just like comments down below, maybe likes and shares this episode on like their Facebook or Instagram.
So no one's gonna win it then. You might as well keep that book at this point.
Nah, man, we're gonna have to give it away.
Hartman
Yeah,
says,
we
glow
have-
it up.
We have the most loyal. What the hell? We have the most loyal listeners out of any podcast I've ever seen, but no one shares our shit.
I mean, we'll give Stumbling some credit here. He buys the merch and walks around. I'd call that sharing.
Yeah,
Stumbling is a cheerleader. He's a real one.
Maybe they're just
one of the
worried,
ones.
like, if you buy one shirt from us, we're gonna make you a permanent member on the podcast. Because
Maybe
Ish-
they're just
Ish is
low-key.
on there, then Stumbling to join. Like,
They just
make
low
an
key
appearance.
want to buy a shirt. That's all.
The high key
So
want to.
tell us about your buying experience with the Absolute Geek store.
Hartman says I go door to door, but it's wearing thin. Stick Boy shares. Stick Boy does share every week.
That's true. So there you go. Stick Boy's gonna win.
I think we can make it happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's a what is something is killing the children local comic book issue number 1,
9.8
9.8 CGC. So we got to just figure out how to give it away. I'll throw in some other stuff too, and maybe I'll order a AGP hoodie if the person just sends me their size and is patient with me through the shipping process for
Oh, that'd be awesome.
the hoodie. Yeah. of
So
course
what
I
you got to
will.
do is you got
Hit
to
it.
put on a white dress shirt with black dress pants, black dress shoes, black dress tie,
And a
get a
nameplate.
bicycle, and
How's
a
that
nameplate
different than a
and
regular
a name
tie?
tag.
How's a dress tie different than a regular
Sorry,
tie?
just a black tie.
So are you wanting me to like get dressed up in my old missionary gear? I think I got my name
Exactly.
tag
Yes.
still.
with a
Yep.
bike helmet.
With a bike helmet, and get a ride door to door,
Right, door to door.
and say, "Have you heard the word of our Lord and Savior, Absolute Geek Podcast?"
You heard the word of the bird? The
Yeah.
bird is the word.
Stick just nailed it. He's like, "I'll just send you my address and I win." But-
Oh man.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give Max the floor to talk a little bit about Lord of the Rings: The Ring of Power to see if he could sway you to watch this show. Because I was giving him and Ish a hard time about it last night, talking about it being a dumpster fire and hot garbage, and I really only watched like 20 minutes of it and then bailed out. So I didn't really watch a lot of it. So
And that's crazy to me because that's like, I don't know. You're not a big Lord of the Rings fan though, right, Matt? Like it's not.
no, I mean I've seen the Lord of the Rings trilogy and read the books, but I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over it. Like it's one of those things that's gonna pass
See,
for me, and I'm not.
See, and that's
Isn't it-
interesting to me because there's like so little Lord of the Rings content, really, like when you think about it, compared to other pop culture. But I'm like starved for Lord of the Rings, so I've been looking forward to this show. But some of the marketing had me concerned. Some of that I think is just pundits on either side of the issue, kind of being really divisive on the internet. There's a lot of people that are being extremely critical of this movie, and other people that are like not allowing any, or not movie, this TV show, and other people that refuse to have any constructive criticism leveled at it. So with all that noise, I was getting caught up in the middle of that, but I liked some of the promotional material, didn't like some of the others, but overall I was excited. And I'll tell you what, man, Star Wars is the only thing that like, that's not the only thing. Star Wars is the thing that most consistently will get me to watch, and like I'll just be grinning at it. So like when I was watching Obi-Wan Kenobi and you got the final episode and you've got Vader and Obi-Wan facing off, I literally am like grinning ear to ear, just excited, ecstatic about it. And that was me in the first like 10 minutes of Rings of Power. Like I knew it was going to be nice looking because the trailers demonstrated that, but I wasn't prepared for $1 billion TV show actually looking like they put the money into it. Because I can't think of anything visually that I was like, wow, that looked bad. Like
Isn't this the most expensive TV show ever created?
I'm sure it is. I'm pretty sure you're right on that. And it looks great. Like there's an ice troll near the beginning of the episode that I was like, holy crap, that's TV CGI. Like I know it's not like there's TV CGI, but usually the budget in TV shows is a bit lower, you know. But it looked better than some of the CGI in The Hobbit, and they spent a lot of money on CGI in those movies. The landscapes that they did were absolutely incredible. So like from a visual standpoint, it's probably some of the best looking TV I've ever seen. And that made me very happy.
Dude,
You know,
this show cost $465 million.
Yeah, my
make.
understanding is they're going to put $1 billion in it between the first 2 seasons.
The
What?
first
Yeah.
three Lord of the Rings movies, 281 million. It's already almost doubled what the
Yeah.
first 3 movies did
Yeah,
as
that's
far as budget.
that's a lot. It's a lot of budget, and it shows.
Each
So if
episode
nothing
cost
else,
58 million.
If nothing else, it looks nice. The costumes I think are great. I think the world is gorgeous. I think the music is quite good. I don't think they got Howard Shore to do it like he did the movies, and I don't even know if they have the rights to like the Lord of the Rings music, because the Lord of the Rings rights are super weird. It's like Tolkien's estate and stuff. So I'm not 100% sure even how those rights work, but I like the music in the show. The story is the only thing that like I'll kind of criticize so far, just because you're making fun of I keep doing this. I think Matt's making fun of me for it. The
No,
story's
I'm
just
not
moving.
making fun of you at all. I'm just
The story's just
grooving.
kind of moving slow.
On
Not a
this?
lot has happened. Yeah, not a lot's happened. I think it's going to be a 9-episode season. They've released the first 2 episodes. Like, I'm interested and I'm invested. And there's like some mystery. Like, there's a character revealed at the end of the first episode that you start learning more about in episode 2, but you still don't know who they are. And I think that's kind of exciting. And I'm really curious to like learn more. Like, is this one of like the wizards? Because there's some conflicting information. This whole show takes place during the Second Age. So like in Tolkien lore, there's like 3 ages that are usually talked about. And I might be getting some of this wrong. If we've got a crazy Tolkien fan in here, feel free to correct me. But there's usually 3 ages talked about. And the 3rd age is when like the Lord of the Rings series takes place, and The Hobbit. And that takes place, I think, about 2,000-ish years into that age. And in a lot of Tolkien, like in some of the original Tolkien lore, he said the wizards didn't even show up until 1,000 years into the 3rd age. So like 1,000 years before the Lord of the Rings. So there's some lore that says that. And then there's other lore that says that some of the wizards, the blue wizards, showed up in the 2nd age. And so some people are like, well, maybe this guy that is mysterious could be a wizard. I'm starting to wonder if maybe he's like a villain and one of like Sauron's agents, and we just don't know yet. And so it's just like, I'm interested in the story, but it's also moving slow, and there's not a lot going on other than
so it's not
that.
much different than the movies.
Sure.
I've
There's
never
also
seen any Lord of the Rings anything. I know nothing about
Count-
this series.
Count yourself
oh,
lucky.
dude,
Really,
Lord of the Rings is great. Don't count yourself lucky. Do you like fantasy at all?
I do. Yeah, of course.
Then you should watch Lord of the Rings. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But it's about as like core to the fantasy experience as you get. Like, you have to experience Lord of the Rings if you enjoy fantasy. Like,
What is it
fantasy type
streaming on? Is it stream on?
stuff. The movies,
The
I think,
movies?
are on Prime and HBO Max right now.
And there's 3 Lord of the Rings movies.
And then there's 3 Hobbit movies. But I would watch Lord of the Rings. That's the cream of the crop. Those are the
Watch-
first ones.
So watch all 3 of the Lord of the Rings and then jump into like the Hobbit. Yeah, I have to see
Yeah.
that stuff to even understand where Rings of Power is coming from.
No,
or
you don't really have to see any of that to understand Rings of Power.
yeah,
It'll give you context, because Rings of Power takes place like 3,000 years before the Lord of the Rings movies.
I'm almost ashamed to say that I haven't seen anything that has to do with the Lord of the
It
Rings
is.
because
It is kind of the pinnacle of fantasy. Like, I'm not a fantasy fan, but I would say it's probably the most perfect representation of what a fantasy.
Yeah, like Beowulf is probably one of the earliest renditions of like fantasy and literature.
Yeah.
But Tolkien took that idea in Beowulf and just really amped it up and created what fantasy is today. Like, if you read stuff like the Wheel of Time, the Belgariad, the Shannara series, there's a lot, tons of different fantasy stuff out there. Like, pretty much Aragon, all of that stuff
they all
was
were
ultimately inspired
Lord
by
of the Rings.
Tolkien. Like, yeah, by Lord of the Rings. So
But even
it's
like
kind of he's the father of fantasy. Him and C.S. Lewis. I'll give C.S. Lewis some credit there too. With the Narnia stuff, it's more child friendly, but that's that's fantasy.
But even like when you talk about cinematic like fantasy, like I would argue Lord of the Rings is probably like
oh, dude, they're all
the
well
benchmark.
received. Yeah.
Well, I mean, The Hobbit, not so much.
No,
Wasn't
but the
that-
originals,
Yeah,
all
the
3 of the
original trilogy.
originals are like I would consider them all masterpiece movies, and most Lord of the Rings fans agree that they're all just like god tier movies.
Wasn't the
So-
last one of those nominated for some awards or something?
Yeah, it
some
was like
pretty
the
high
Yeah, it was
profile
like
rewards.
yeah, it won several too. It was I think it had best music. I think it won best effects. It was like one of the first movies to like actually get CGI to look good. Like Gollum was like one of the first times CGI looked good. Now, if you go back and watch it now, Gollum doesn't look good compared to today's CGI, but he still holds up pretty well when you're talking 2002 when that movie came out. Like it was just impressive for the time, man.
So we've
very
got
impressive.
Fellowship, Two Towers, and The Return of the King.
Yes,
those are the three
originals.
staple movies. So
Yeah.
I will have those watched by next Friday night.
Oh
I
my
will watch
God.
Watch the
Damn it.
extended editions. If
The
you
Academy,
can.
the Academy Awards is the Oscars, right?
Actually, you know what? I'm going to
Yes.
take that back. Stumbling. Don't watch the extended editions.
No,
Return
dude, I'm looking at those. Those are super long. The extended editions.
Yes, that's why I'm saying maybe don't.
Yeah,
on
I
your-
got shit to do.
I love them. I will only watch the extended editions now. But I think on your first watch, they're already 3-hour movies. The theatrical cuts are like 3 hours each. So just start there.
So all three.
Don't put pressure on
movies-
yourself to be done by next week. You have a life. It's okay.
all
Dude, I'm staying in
three-
a hotel. Like I got no shit to do.
Other than once you're done with work, fair enough.
All
Yeah.
three Lord of the Rings movies were nominated for Best Picture, and the last one actually won Best Picture.
The Return of the
Oscar.
King did.
Yeah. The last movie was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Art Direction, Best Costume Design, Film Editing, Makeup, Original Score, Original Song, Sound Mixing, Visual Effects. It won in every single category.
What
that was
else came
nominated.
out that year?
I don't know. 76 Academy Awards. The first one was nominated for everything except sound editing. The second one was nominated for Best Picture, Best Art Direction, Best Film Editing, Best Sound Editing, Sound Mixing, and Visual Effects. It won Sound Editing and Visual Effects. But I mean, the last one, winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Oscars.
Yeah, it was. I was going to say 9 earlier.
It's 11.
I know they're
Best
super
Picture.
popular movies, but I don't know why I never got. My wife's seen them. Everybody that I know has seen them. I don't know why I've avoided them. I know that The Hobbit has a pinball machine, and it's a badass pinball machine. I know that.
The Lord of the Rings Return of the King tied with Ben-Hur and Titanic as the most awarded films in Oscar history.
Damn.
That's pretty amazing. Oh, and Mystic River. Oh no, wait, hold on. Yeah, Mystic
Okay.
River. It was up against Mystic River, and that's a fantastic movie.
Well, so Return of the King was up against, for Best Picture, Chicago, Gangs of New York, The Hours, and The Pianist
Where are you reading this?
on theoscars.org.
It says Lost in Translation, Master and Commander, Mystic River, and Seabiscuit.
Which one are you looking at? I'm looking at Return of the King. Are you looking at like Two Towers or Fellowship?
Best Picture, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Best Picture, Lost in Translation, Master and Commander. So I don't know what the fuck we're looking at.
Oscars.org is telling me something different. All
Oh,
I'm saying is it went up against Gangs of New York. It was a good movie too. So wait, am I looking at the wrong year? Because now it's saying the Two Towers. Maybe I'm looking.
yeah,
at the wrong
you got to
year.
look at the 76 Academy Awards, and it says the nominations were
I'm looking at
Lost
the
in
wrong
Translation.
year.
Master and
That's
Commander, Mystic River, and Seabiscuit. And Mystic River, have you guys seen Mystic River? Clint Eastwood?
No,
I have not.
Dude, that movie is gut wrenching. That movie is so fucking good. And it beat that. And then Best Director, which Peter Jackson won, it was up against City of God, Lost in Translation, Master and Commander, and Mystic River, Clint Eastwood.
So anyway, regardless of what movies it was up against, it was clearly a good movie for that year. So
Yeah, but I
they're
could
worth
see.
watching.
I think the point Matt was trying to make was they're not like, yes, I think Mystic River is like one of the best movies I've ever seen, but it's not exactly steep competition. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, there didn't seem to be a whole lot
Yeah,
like,
I'm not going to say that list is full of like the bangers that you would usually talk about.
for instance,
So.
Best Actor that year, one of them nominated for Best Actor was Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean. So it just kind of shows you that
Johnny
that year.
Depp.
It just kind of shows you that
nah.
year didn't have a lot of. I'm not saying it wasn't deserving, because I do, as much as I don't like Return of the King, it was a like visually stunning movie.
Fuck, that movie went on forever, dude.
I'm just not into the fantasy genre.
I couldn't wait to keep watching it.
I'm just
Which
not
movie?
Return of the King. It's awesome. I'm just saying it's long. It's like a 3.5 hour theatrical cut, and it's great.
I'm just not into fantasy. That's just the reason why I don't like it.
And I read the books before watching the movies. Well, that's not true. I saw the first movie and then I read all 3 books before the second movie came out. And so for the second 2 movies, I knew the story and was able to see how well they followed it, and they followed it pretty well. I mean, there's variances like any adaptation, but they did pretty darn good.
Yeah, dude, all the movies that it was up against, like I think I've seen 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
And that Mystic River was one of them.
Yeah, Mystic River, dude. If you guys haven't seen that movie, it's Sean Penn, Tim Robbins. Fuck, who else is in that movie?
The theatrical poster is ingrained in my mind. I can see like the blue and the black of the poster in my mind. So when I hear
it's the reflection of them in the water.
Yeah. I've never
Tim
seen
Robbins,
it.
Kevin Bacon, Lawrence Fishburne, Laura Linney, and Sean Penn. Oh, dude, such a good fucking movie.
Sean Penn's a great actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Not as good as William Dafoe, but
he's better than William Dafoe.
I think that guy made my pizza last week.
William Dafoe?
Yeah. I think he's the delivery driver of at Domino's.
So anyway, in summary, because we're already going pretty long for this episode, I loved the first 2 episodes. I already rewatched the first one. I think it's stunning. I was grinning from ear to ear, almost nerd crying in enjoyment. And I can't wait to see what comes next. It's not perfect. We'll see how it all shakes out. I'm going to say this. I'm pretty passionate about what I'm about to say, and I'm probably going to get some hate comments for it. If you're mad that there's a diverse cast, get over yourself. It's okay for there to be black people in the Lord of the Rings show. Okay. It's
Is there people that are mad about that?
There's a lot of people mad about it. And like, I get it. Tolkien wrote this in like the 20s or whatever, or the 40s. But anyway, Tolkien wrote this about Anglo-Saxons. And so the idea was that the people were going to be white.
In the 1940s,
so what?
Pretty much everybody was racist.
It's a freaking fantasy world, okay? It's a fantasy world. There's a black elf in the show. Honestly, probably one of my favorite characters. Like, here's another thing I'll say. Like, I remember on the show last week, you guys were talking about She-Hulk. There were some complaints about like how the show is like kind of, I'm not saying from you guys, but there were some comments about the show being sexist, or that like there's a lot of politics going into these shows lately. And I agree with that, honestly. And there were a lot of people complaining that Rings of Power is going to be the same thing, that, oh, they're just going to be making, there's a lot of complaints about, they're just going to try to make men look like they're all sexist and bad, and that, just all these different political talking points. I haven't found any of that in the Rings of Power yet. Like, Galadriel's a badass, but Galadriel's always been a badass. She's in the original movies, but she's also in this. She's always been great. So like, she's my favorite character. And I don't know, I'm loving the show. If you're upset about like some of the things in the show conflicting with what Tolkien wrote, like from like a historical and lore standpoint, that's one thing. Like, you can debate that. If you're just mad that they cast a black guy to be an elf, just get over it. Like, move on. That is not like an issue in my book. I don't know. That's just my opinion, especially when it's a character that like didn't exist. Like, if I could see people getting more annoyed if like Elrond was recast with like a different race or something, when Elrond in the movies was a white guy. Like, maybe that I could understand more, but when it's a new character, I don't know. I'm ranting a little bit now. I'm getting annoyed with some of my friends who like refuse to watch it just because of that. And I'm like, just because of that, dude, give it a freaking chance.
I get really annoyed when people get pissed off about people being, race switched.
Yeah, like, and I've said it on the show before, I'm very conservative, but some of the people like that are like this are just like, they're just too much for me. It's just too much.
They're extra.
Yeah,
They're
so
extra.
Stumbling Jedi came on the show as a guy who was going to talk, but at the last minute we switched him out with someone who's just going to sit there.
He's listening. Why are you giving him so much shit, dude?
Wait, what?
He came on because he thought we were going to talk about Better Call Saul, and then we decided.
Yeah, I got clickbaited.
You're not paying attention then, because the last 3 weeks we've done nothing but like sitcom spoofs for She-Hulk.
But
She-Hulk,
here's
All in the Family.
I'm going to move to the next slide so that we can be done with Lord of the Rings, though. And I'm just going to say Better Call Saul was great. I'll just say that. I loved it. I loved the finale.
If
I
you
was
want to talk
pretty
Better
happy.
Call Saul, we can do a special episode where we just talk about Better Call Saul, because I can talk about that show for hours.
Yeah. If we're going
And
to talk
we've
about that,
already
we
been here
have to
for 2
spoil
hours
it.
and 30 minutes, so 35 minutes.
Weren't you
Well
guys going to
done,
talk
Matt.
about it last week? But Ish
It
was
keeps getting
missing.
pushed. Keeps getting pushed. No, Max was missing. We were going to talk about it. And I said, well, we really should talk about it when Max is on, because I know Max saw it, and then I don't know. I think I'm in the minority when I say I didn't much care for it.
I think you are.
It was
in
a
the minority.
slow burn, but it's written well, I think. But we won't have to talk about it.
The
My
writing's
only,
well, it's just not what I envisioned for.
my only
Saul's.
complaint was the black and white crap. That's it. Otherwise, I
You're
loved the
right.
story. I just didn't like it being black and white. I'm like, once we've picked up that we're now in the new timeline, let's just add some color back in.
I liked it because it took the typical black and white trope and flipped it as showing you something in the future rather than something in the past.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty inventive. I just his end, I guess you could say, like the end of Saul, is just not what I had envisioned. Like,
It's better.
I don't know.
He came full circle. Like he
I
went
know
from,
we've talked about this before,
Yeah.
and
I
don't
he
know.
came full circle, dude. And I love the fact that
Your
Walter
son
White
wants a soda, Lance.
Walter White went to yeah, I'm just here because I want a soda.
That's my kid.
That's
I
what I'm
know it
saying.
is. I know it is. Walter White went down Breaking Bad all the way to the end. Like he was good and then broke bad and stayed that way saw it through all the way to the end.
Can I address
like
my
that
kid real
Saul-
quick?
Go ahead.
It's 10:15. Go to bed.
Yeah.
Continue.
Or they're gonna leave you home alone for a vacation.
It's 10:15. Get your
Yeah,
ass
is
to
that
bed.
the Kevin McAllister of the pepperoni household?
The one that burned his face with macaroni?
It came full circle. Like I said, Walter White broke bad all the way to the end, and I like that Saul saw his way out. Like, because I was the same way. I was expecting that one final like Saul-esque moment, that one last scam, that one
To
last
save his
slip
own
and Jimmy.
skin.
Yeah, slip and Jimmy moment where he got out of everything, and you kind of saw it coming, and then to save Kim, the one person who always had his back, the one person that truly loved him, even because his brother didn't have his back
I thought it was
in the grand scheme of things, and Kim did. He sold out. He broke good, gave it all up for Kim, and then he even did it. He got rid of the Saul moniker. He became Jimmy again, and the ending, even like the exit, the shot of the exit scene and the final court scene shot, call back to the first episode, and this scene of them up against the wall smoking a cigarette together is a callback to the very first episode. So
No, I get it.
It completely came full circle, and I had to watch it twice. Like I felt the same way you did after the first time I watched it live. I was like, man, I don't know about that. But on the second viewing, I was like, this is the fitting ending for Saul.
I haven't rewatched it, so maybe I need to give it a rewatch. But my thing is that this whole season, it seemed like every episode had that jaw-dropping, like, moment. From Nacho to Howard to what's the bad guy's name? Salamanca, to all these things. So there was just
not Hector.
What's his name? Lilo.
Yeah.
Lilo, or
Laszlo.
Lilo and Stitch, Salamanca.
Isn't it Laszlo Salamanca? I think it's Laszlo.
Yeah, something like that.
No, I don't.
Lalo.
Pretty sure it's Lalo.
Lalo. Yes, there you go.
But
Lalo Salamanca.
everything had like this like moment in it. And then the last episode, like, I kind of was able to call it beat for beat, like as it was happening. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing. Like you think back to the last Breaking Bad episode, from the moment that Walter White is laying on his back in that meth farm, right? Everything was just like a jaw-dropping moment in that last episode, and I didn't feel that way with this one. That anything caught me off guard, anything was surprising, or anything. Oh, he gone for the night?
No, he froze, dude. He straight
Yeah.
up froze.
But
Oh.
hey, if we want to talk about it, I mean, we can set up some time to talk more about it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to put my, my perspective on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can set up an episode to talk about the whole thing, but I just think that that's a good summary of the ending. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like there wasn't much of a better ending in my book. Like
I thought the Breaking Bad ending was better.
My
I'm a
bad,
big-
guys. My hotel Wi-Fi's fucked up.
I'm a big
No.
stickler on endings matter, and I feel like the endings of both series was on point.
I feel like Breaking Bad though was kind of ruined with the El Camino movie.
Why?
Why? I liked El Camino.
I felt like the El Camino movie kind of cheapened the feeling I got from the Breaking Bad finale.
I don't know why when they're different. It's just a different character's ending. Like Breaking Bad is Walt's ending. It's Walt's definitive ending. El Camino is Jesse's ending to this universe. And then
Does he die at
Better
the end of
Call
that?
Saul. No.
Pretty sure he just gets away.
Yeah, he goes to I want to say Alaska. I don't know if he goes.
I think
to
it was like
can't remember.
Alaska. It was somewhere cold.
But he gets taken out. He leaves thanks to the vacuum man, and goes off and lives his life. And then this is Saul's definitive ending. So it's just each series is that protagonist's definitive ending. So
do you think we're going to get another spinoff?
no, Vince Gilligan's
because-
already said he's done in the Walking Dead universe.
I know.
Breaking Bad
Giancarlo is actively campaigning for a Gus.
Yeah,
we already
spinoff.
got Gus's definitive ending in Breaking Bad, though.
yeah.
Unless he comes back as Two-Face.
I think my only complaint with Better Call Saul is just how it tied into Breaking Bad, how they chose to tie it into Breaking Bad. Like I would have loved to see it tie in where the show should have ended right when the plane tragedy happens in Breaking Bad, and then you already know, and then you could have showed the fast forward stuff so you know what happens after that too. But I just think that they picked a poor connecting point.
Remind me how Gus died in Breaking Bad. I don't remember.
The wheelchair
blown up.
explodes.
Yeah,
Yes.
He
goes
walks
into
out.
the-
Oh, dude, it's one of the coolest scenes. He walks out like this with his tie, and then the camera pans over, and you see half of his face is gone. It's like one of the
and like
coolest.
even
scenes.
like the eye socket in his like blown away face
Yeah.
like twitches.
Yeah. But what's the uncle, or is it the
Hector.
uncle Hector? His wheelchair explodes.
Yeah, him and Walt set up Gus, and he attaches a bomb to Hector's bell, and then he rings it and it blows up.
Yeah. Okay. It's been so long since I've seen that. Yes.
It's like one of the coolest. That and Kristen Ritter, Walter White watching her die in bed.
Oh, dude,
Those are like the two of the best death scenes I would say in the entire universe of the universe of that show.
Walter White is
Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
one cold.
I haven't
son
seen
of a
El
bitch
Camino.
that
I
you
need to
just
watch.
wanted to see get away with it.
It's all right. Like El Camino's okay. It's just a movie, so you can watch it in one day. But to Max's point where he was saying like we already know how Gus ends. I want to see how Gus begins.
They kind of already touch on it though in Breaking Bad. Like there's an episode where they talk about him and his brother in Breaking Bad and in Better Call Saul. So I kind of feel like his origin story is very well documented between the two series.
Yeah. I just think
Yeah.
it like you could almost look at him as like he doesn't look like a guy that's always been bad. You know what I mean? Because he's very well polished. He's very well respected in the community. Like he knows how to speak. Like
It's just his front, you know?
Yeah. But I don't know. I'd be interested in seeing it. But
I
think
wouldn't,
there's
but
room.
I also wasn't interested in seeing Better Call Saul, and then I ended up loving it. So
I think Vince Gilligan, is it Vince Gilligan?
Yes.
I just think he's one of the best TV writers I've ever. I mean,
yes,
there was episodes in this show that was just like, how did, I don't know, the dialogue and the character development, and he made us care about a character that nobody really cared about in Breaking Bad in Saul Goodman. He made Bob Odenkirk like a respectable actor. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, like
this
I
is the guy that
hated,
did skits.
I
before this.
hated Saul in Breaking Bad because he's a slimy, skeevy little prick. Like,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to like him. And then you get Better Call. So, like, when they announced the show, I'm like, really? You're gonna make a show about this like awful guy that no one likes, and then you love him? At least for me, I grew to love him over the whole series. It's just like,
Yeah,
Jimmy McGill's my bro.
yeah, man. They show his like romantic side and everything with his relationship with Wexler, and he's just a human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They humanized him. Vince
Yes.
Gilligan is like one of the best at that, because we grew to love a show and love a character about a meth addict. Like, you feel for him, Walter White. You know what
He
I mean?
wasn't a meth addict. He was a
Or a meth. He cooks meth.
Yeah.
Is what I meant to say. Thank you.
yeah.
Well, because his intentions of doing it are pure. He's trying to provide for his family when he thinks he's dying of.
That's
of
his
lung
original
cancer.
intention, right?
Yeah.
And then it turns to ambition and
Mhm.
power.
But even
and-
Jesse
Greed, yeah.
Plemons.
Yeah.
Is it Jesse Plemons? No,
Jesse Pinkman.
Pinkman. Jesse Plemons is the actor, huh? The other actor.
I don't know.
He's the one that kills or that captures Jesse
Oh
Pinkman.
yeah. Okay. Yes.
Jesse
yes.
Plemons is the actual actor that captures Jesse Pinkman, right? That's where I'm getting messed up.
Probably.
The albino guy. But so like Walter White, Jesse Pinkman, like these guys eventually turned into bad guys. But yet we're rooting at
Jesse
we're
less
rooting,
so.
but we're rooting for them as if they're the
Yeah.
heroes of the story.
Jesse is so. Breaking Bad has the opposite. So like Walter starts out with good intentions, and then his intentions go from pure to very much corrupted. Where Jesse Pinkman started out as corrupted in the dope game and became very much pure. Like I think Mike,
He couldn't get out of this game.
yeah,
He
the
wanted
death
to.
of Kristen Ritter's character Jane, the
So
death
good.
of
So good.
and then the death of Brock's mom, Walter poisoning Brock, and then his relationship with Mike.
Who's Brock? Where am I missing? Who's Brock?
The little boy. He's the little boy that Walter poisons. That like it's his girlfriend's.
Shit, I need to watch better Breaking Bad again because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
They
I
killed
totally
her.
forgot. He poisons the kid.
Yeah, he poisons the kid with the planks.
Jesse's
Ah,
His
girlfriend's
girlfriend's
kid,
mom. Yeah, and so like in like the end of Breaking Bad, to make Jesse cook, they take him to her house and they shoot her in the front porch and make Jesse watch.
It is
there's
pretty awful.
yeah, there's,
Jesse
there's
is-
so much I've forgotten as well.
But
Jesse's
yeah.
like
Brock Cantillo.
yeah, to try and get him back in the game. But it's very much like just the relationships that Jesse gets helps him like break good, go from being bad to break good. And
Vince
Walter's-
Gilligan knows how to write good characters, dude. He just excels at it.
Dude, the best scene that I laugh at every time I watch it is when Huel and Bill Burr's character go over to Skylar's, like the guy Skylar's cheating on Walt's house, and the dude tries to run and fucking trips on the rug and then like falls and smashes his head into like the cabinet or like the countertop and gets like breaks his neck and shit. Oh my god, it's so funny. The next scene, you see him sitting there in traction. I was like, oh, dude, so good. That show is so good. But I digress. All right, well, I think that's a good place to end tonight. Thank you, Stumbling Jedi, for joining us tonight.
Sorry, I wasn't more
You
entertaining.
did a fantastic job. You did a great job.
That's
You-
just
you-
your initiation, as Matt.
You
makes
and
fun of you
Hartman
for 2
kept the
hours.
chat on fire tonight, so I appreciate that. Stick Boys, Zaggy, Patrick, Aaron, Quantum Kyle, everyone was in the chat tonight. Thank you so much. Fire as always. old man Lexi, I hope your dad gives you that pop or that soda. But he told you to take your little ass to bed. So, yeah. So you better be in bed.
I hope this doesn't become a reoccurring theme that they're going to come on every Friday and ask me questions in the chat. Like,
there you go. But for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
I'm Max.
I'm the Frozen Jedi.
Ooh, stumbling out. He's stumbling out of here, and we'll see you guys next time.
All you freaks and geeks,
Come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks
Spread the cheese.
and drink
And
some
over for
Cosby
Absolute-
wine.
We'll
Come
drink
on,
some
you
Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the Absolute